27th then, right? If it was the Friday.
Might be.
It was Friday the
Smell
27th.
nice.
Friday
I
was
did put on some stuff after my
Tuesday.
salad. so-
Okay, so it was
That
the
was good.
27th.
Oh, it was the
Nice
30th,
start.
20,
This is on.
So it was the
Okay.
27th.
My wife
Thank
picks
you.
it up.
But that was Tuesday. The 23rd was that Friday before.
Let the ladies decide.
oh, so the 27th was our last meeting, right. That's on, I have that on my files that I created.
It's all blending together.
Did you do minutes for the Ware deliberative, since we had a majority, quorum?
I didn't, I can. We didn't.
It's just one line. We didn't conduct any business,
Yeah,
but we all met,
I can do it I can do it the same way I did
yeah.
the other one, like, you read out
It's,
you read
yeah,
out the recommendations and no business was conducted.
that was it, yeah.
The same, I mean, how many people were at Jumpstart?
Like 3 of us.
Okay.
Okay?
4.
Four of us.
Bill was
One,
out
two-
too.
Oh, yeah,
It
Bill.
still wouldn't be,
No,
No,
need 6.
there were
I
4
stayed
of
home.
us.
I was in the bathtub.
I should have stayed home.
All right, welcome to the Ware Finance Committee, February 10th, 2026 meeting. Call to order at 6:31. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did we get minutes for the 27th sent out to review?
yes.
I read, I just don't remember which one I read.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we review and accept the minutes of the Tuesday, February 27th,
January.
I'm sorry, January 27th meeting.
Second.
Thank you. Did anybody have any questions, comments?
No, I thought they looked good.
They always look good. Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes for the 27th of January, say yes, or raise your hand. Aye. Any opposed? Abstain. Okay. That is 9-0. We have one absent member. Okay. So tonight we have to,
Will you do the same one for the?
oh, do we have 2 to do?
The
well,
31st.
deliberative one,
Okay,
which was just
no,
basically a single line.
yeah. Those minutes will just be, we had a quorum, but we conducted no business. The chair read the recommendations to the,
It'll basically be the same as well, I did send out ones for the deliberative,
Right.
the town deliberative,
okay.
but I didn't do ones for the Ware school
We
deliberative.
we didn't have a majority there, a quorum.
We did not?
Yeah, we did.
For where?
For where we did.
Oh, I thought you said John Stark. I'm sorry.
No, we didn't for John Stark.
John Stark,
We
no.
did for Ware, but I have not done them for Ware.
Okay,
But I
it'll-
can make them pretty much
If you make,
identical.
yeah, we
to-
didn't conduct any business at that one either, right?
Right.
So it'll be the same line, yeah.
I would do the same line and I
Yeah.
can send it as final unless you'll want to review.
No, I'd send it as final. I mean, you're only gonna have a line in there that, the same thing as the town one, so
Okay.
that should be fine.
How will tonight's minutes be finalized?
In the fall.
Yeah, we can do them next year.
Okay. So it would be doing the town deliberative.
Right, okay. What was the date on that one again?
31st.
31st, okay.
But Kate, you will print the draft minutes. Make sure that they're available to the public
But tonight,
for tonight.
yeah, we'll submit
I'll go
them.
ahead and submit them
Yeah.
and have to draft out.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we review and accept the Finance Committee meeting minutes for Saturday, January 31st, which was the Town of Ware deliberative session.
Second.
And that's going to be just 2 lines, basically. All those in favor of approving these minutes, raise your hand.
Aye.
Any abstain or no? Okay, that motion carries 9-0. And then the Ware School District,
Which I have not written them.
that'll be the same though.
So I could do it the same as these and we could
Yeah.
vote on them.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That's all, that's everything. Okay, tonight, there's 2 things tonight. One is, anybody can bring up a discussion for potentially changing, revoting, and or rewording recommendations on articles from the 3 deliberative sessions. There were a couple of, in my opinion, there were a couple that are worthy of discussing. I can bring those up. And then after that, when we're done with that, we have to do the write-up. We have to approve the write-up for the mailer, which is a high-level statement about the overall tax profile and our recommendations. So just a summary of our detail with a little grid that shows the numbers. And we'll go over that. I think that's all the business we have. Is there anything else that I missed? And those are due on the 16th, so tonight's the night. I
Yep.
want to get them. We'll submit all the recommendations again with any changes. This all goes to the town administrator. They will print up the booklet for the mailer with the town and the schools and our recommendations in them, plus our statement. Okay?
Yep.
Is anybody blocked here? Can't see? You good, Neil?
I'm good, Bob.
Okay. So I'll start with John Stark, just because I have it open here. Are there any of the articles for John Stark that anybody wants to bring up for discussion?
Will you show Article 4, the description for it?
Yeah, let me, proposed budget, teacher's contract. I don't have any notes for any of these changing myself. And none of them, there were no amendments attempted or succeeded. And I didn't hear of any information that would have changed our my view of our recommendation and our view of the article. Somebody else might. The one thing I did for the wording of the recommendation for Article 4, the one thing I did think about, and again, this just throw it out for discussion, is I made a note, in my feeling, that they should not have applied 8% consistently to the entire grid. They showed, the board showed how there were some parts of the grid that we were much lower than other towns. Some of them we were the same and we were grouped, and some of them we were kind of in the middle. And in my opinion, and this happened last year, was we should have applied more to those lower groups that were behind and less to the ones that were in even keel. It might have had a better chance of passing rather than everybody getting 8% and it being a much larger dollar amount. They could have adjusted it that way and made it easier to palate. I didn't know if we wanted to mention anything to that effect. That's the only thing that came up in my mind to any of these articles. You can send a message to the board that, hey, this is one of the reasons why, if anybody else feels that way. That happened last year, and Bill made a point of that they adjusted groups that that weren't really expressed as being risk groups on the grid. Teachers that had been there for 15 years, for example, they said that they didn't have a problem. They got the same amount as brand new teachers who were the risk,
The union, right?
that kind of thing. So,
I think our recommendation would be strengthened if we added to the end of the first sentence, the top, first sentence, something to the effect that
and this is John Stock.
more money for, I don't know how to phrase this exactly, but more money for a higher percentage raise for those parts of the grid where we were less competitive, and a lower raise for those part of the grids where we were more competitive would have both been fairer to taxpayers, would have lowered the cost and been fairer to taxpayers.
Mhm. That's essentially what I was saying. You said it in a better way.
Is this John Stark or where?
John Stark.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 9.5% average with an 8% step increase, step rise, which averaged out 9.5% because a number of people moved up in the years since the last contract.
So they would be getting a 16% increase?
Some people could.
They're underpaid, Neil.
All right, let me take a stab at that.
That board and that.
Hey, you can sit over there in the middle if you want.
Can you
Easier.
make that a little larger?
If it's
for
easier for you to
Lori?
see. And that.
The bigger the better.
Thank you, Neil.
We can tweak this.
Yeah, you didn't feel that way about the chair.
The last little bit, stand a better chance of passing. I don't know what we wanna opine, whether it's gonna
We
pass or
don't
not.
want to help them in that, Matt.
Could
But I think
end it
what
with-
Neil had said was something like, this would have lowered the costs
Just-
to be more fair to taxpayers or something, or it,
Yeah, and you could end
something
it.
about it would, lower the cost while still,
But take out the
Helping,
better chance of passing.
yeah.
You could end it right at taxpayers.
In writing this kind of summary of what y'all are saying right now, I had put, it would have been more cost-effective to apply raises only to those parts of the grid where we are not as competitive as surrounding districts. I don't know if
That's
that's,
nice.
if that's more concise.
It is more concise.
Yep.
It's cleaner.
Say it again. Instead of the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, no, still keep this first part, right?
The first
Yeah.
sentence stays. Your second sentence, beginning with the committee feels.
Yeah. Oh, this sentence.
Yes.
You could leave you could just say, the committee feels it would have been more cost-effective to apply raises only to those parts of the grid where we are not as competitive as surrounding districts. And then you could add something like saving taxpayers money or something, or, reducing the cost of the overall cost of the contract, or
Yeah.
whatever you wanna say for that.
Okay, and I think the next paragraph, that full paragraph gets deleted.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that
No.
sentence is weird now, because it says it would have been more cost-effective, and then we end with reducing the overall cost. Is there a better way of saying that?
The committee feels it would have been more cost-effective to apply raises only to those parts of the grid where we are not as competitive as neighboring districts.
Period.
We'll start another sentence.
Thus reducing the overall
No, you don't
cost
need
of
to,
the
you've
contract.
already said that. It's cost effective, and obviously reducing the cost is competitive.
Do you want to say something about, while still improving the less competitive?
No,
No?
Because I think we
then
essentially
you
said
get
that.
redundant.
Yep.
Is there somewhere in there at the end of the first sentence where we could say, much higher than, the first sentence, a majority of the committee feels that the average wage increase of 9.5% since the last contract is much higher than inflation. Somewhere in there, can we say accurately that some teachers would be getting 16% raises? And that's potent,
Yes.
it supports our position, the majority's
The
position.
current, this current structure of this contract would enable some teachers to get a 16% increase.
So is it an average of 9.5?
Yes.
Yeah, can we
As
just
high
say that?
as- Okay, as high as, okay. Got it.
Can we just parenthetically add that?
That's fine.
That's good.
I think the less wordy we are, the better.
Yep,
Because after a couple pages, people aren't gonna read them.
yeah, they're just gonna, too much, right?
Keep that in mind when we do the introductory paragraph.
Oh, no.
Okay,
So I think you just want to connect the two sentences, right,
Yep.
in one paragraph.
There you go.
okay. That's all I came up with. Everything else, I don't know, anybody else got anything else?
No,
I'd just like to say that I heard a lot of qualitative praises for themselves out of the school boards and the teachers. Nobody ever mentions performance of the students, which is terrible. You know, the best performance was language at 47%,
Right.
math at 22, science, I remember 7.
But they made an improvement in one of them, so that's supposed to make everything good.
They didn't wear it. I don't know about John Stark necessarily.
Are you good where or the town day?
Ware had a potential, in my opinion, a couple of changes. Was it Ware? No. Ware School, let's just do Ware School first, it's smaller.
Yep.
The Ware one's longer, if that's okay? I didn't have anything for Ware myself. Let me just save this. And that's Town of Ware, so it's the last one.
I think somewhere in that contract for where we need to point out that we give increases to teachers who are not producing. That came out at the deliberative session.
I did think it was a little crazy that they get a raise even if they're
They're
on.
bad.
If they're on a improvement plan
Improvement
because
plan.
they've performed poorly, but not poorly enough to be fired. They still get
A
the
full
full
raise.
raise.
And a step.
It's pathetic.
Union.
That's nuts.
I don't know that that's worth adding. That's kind of a
I don't think
detail.
most
um,
people
Getting
know
into the
that.
weeds.
and
But
it didn't sound like it was
Those of us who
large.
live in the private
In the
world.
real world, you would not get that.
Well,
we're
in the
not
real
allowed to
world,
know
you-
how many.
Yeah, I know.
I
Well, in the
think
real world, you wouldn't get a
That's
raise
going a
either.
little too, it's not helpful.
It's too
to put that
detailed.
in these reports, in these recommendations.
Well, if we don't want it to pass, we're not there to be helpful.
It's
That-
helpful
that's-
in terms of informing the public of things, the voters, of things that relate to finance. I understand that philosophically that's a good point, I happen to agree with you. But I don't think it benefits the recommendations to put that in.
Paying people
If
for
somebody
bad
has other
performance
language,
does not have
I'm
anything to do
willing
with
listen to it,
finance.
but Unless somebody has something, a really nice way of phrasing that.
Can I simplify this in that last sentence? I took out the word compensation, it's in there twice, or is this more grammatically valid?
Could you make it larger, again for Lori?
I think you can get rid of the
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
sentence.
get rid of the
You can
first
get rid
one.
of that.
The majority believe teachers deserve fair but not excessive compensation.
I would say, but not excessive, comma, compensation. Like, that's a clause.
Like
These
that?
are fair, comma, but not excessive,
Oh,
comma,
yeah,
compensation.
that feels like a comma there.
Yeah.
Fair, but not excessive.
Well, there'd be
Well,
another
there's another
comma
comma.
after
Two commas.
excessive. It's a separate clause.
It's a clause, yeah.
You could essentially take it out and the sentence would still make sense.
You don't think people are gonna misread that and think that we think this is fair?
Not if you read the whole sentence. Will they? You suggesting that we say the majority believes that teachers,
That this is an excessive compensation, not a fair compensation. I think you should reverse it.
You want to say the majority believe that teachers deserve compensation that is fair but not excessive?
that reads better.
shorter.
That doesn't need a comma, right?
Tom, between the words teachers and compensation, you need to put in deserve.
Got a little better, Lori?
And did you want to say this
Looks better to
this
me.
contract
Is
is
excessive.
excessive?
Yeah, I think you have to reiterate that because the way that reads, people don't always read a full sentence. I know that's.
I mean, it's the last word of the sentence.
So
It does
there,
kind of stick out.
Yeah. It's in the sea of white of on the edge. It will be noticed. It's the first thing that I see.
I see not excessive, and I think that's what's gonna trip it.
But
Well, throw
it's
something
showing
out.
not recommended.
Throw something out, what do you think? What do you think?
I think you need to reverse it. I think you need to say that this contract is excessive.
Majority believes this contract provides excessive,
Could you, the majority, give me a second, the majority believe teachers deserve compensation that is fair, but this contract is excessive.
There you go. Thanks,
I don't see how
that's
that
good.
fixes
Nicely
it.
done, Jessica, nicely
It's
done.
the same,
No,
it's
it is not
this,
next to excessive.
Okay.
the same thing, but adding
It's the
more
same thing
words.
but different.
Mentally, I mean, I can see the point of not having not excessive.
Comma after fair. There you go.
That a good compromise?
Yes.
Do a semicolon.
Says the same thing, but it's, what's that?
You could do a semicolon, take out the but, put a semicolon.
That is true.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're right. It's a separate statement.
Okay, guys, I don't want to
Cut
be
in the
here
butt.
tonight, so.
All right, Maria speaks.
Although it should stop snowing by then, I think, so.
Cutting
It's
off
supposed
at
to snow
11.
till 2, so we've got a few hours here.
Anything else on the Ware School District?
I don't think so.
What are the blue squigglies? What are they on each?
It's a little bit of either grammar or spelling.
As long as it's not.
The
Oh.
blue usually means
Grammar
that there's a
doesn't know what he's
spacing
talking
issue.
about. Grammar.
Yeah, those
It's
are-
grammar. This doesn't give me a
Do
recommendation.
a highlight on it.
Oh,
Moving,
it was a space,
oh, okay.
extra space.
I don't think
I don't like that one. And this is probably a space too.
I think that,
Oh,
No, it's supposed to be.
this is in addition to the $2.1 million raise
Singular.
in the last teacher's contract. That was a good one. Why is this? There. Contract will cost taxpayers or during their, no.
no, it's,
It's correct.
the grammar thing isn't always.
Yeah, it's not perfect. All right. Anybody else on any other?
Next.
Okay. That's saved, and I'm saving these all with 210, not to be confused with the prior version. Town of Ware.
I had one for Article 21,
Which one is
that's the fire portable ventilator. So there was just a commentary when you read the Finance Committee meeting recommendation, and the chief
Yep.
made a comment and made a quick note about it wasn't equipment, but the method, the outdated ventilator method. It wasn't outdated equipment.
Right, he said method, yep.
Yeah, so I was thinking, I would recommend changing the equipment with the word method.
Which article?
21.
21.
Oh, hold on, everybody, let me. Here you go, Lori.
21 is employee retirement.
No.
right.
Portable,
Oh, do you have an old one?
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I feel like that was one last.
I was like, did we talk about retirement? I'm not even sure. God, I missed that one.
Make that
All
one
the years
bigger.
run together for Neil. He's been doing this a long time.
This article has no
It is yellow. It's
upgrade
a brighter
outdated
yellow.
ventilator.
Yes, I
Right.
got it.
They don't have, currently don't have ventilator equipment. It's
Okay.
manual. Right? Everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
That was one of the two that no, that was one of the three changes that I
Yeah.
found.
24 and 25.
Yeah, Article 20, while we're on that page, just real quick. I missed the word special. Transfer station, recyclables, special revenue fund, which the town had to correct theirs as well, on a different one, but, so. That one. Same page, Article 22, I just made a comment, we say this has no tax impact. There's a $1,500 trust evaluation, but that's coming out of their budget. Kinda tax related, I don't know if, do we wanna say anything about that? Aside from a $1,500 charge to evaluate the building, there is no tax impact.
Is it coming out of the town budget?
Yeah, DPW
What line
budget.
item?
Oh, I don't know.
Where are they pulling it from?
I don't know. I actually have DPW fund here. So, I don't know, I just,
W wouldn't be the safety complex.
We don't, in this article, we don't need to say, we don't need to mention where it's coming from. We need to say that there's a cost to taxpayers
Yeah.
of $1,500.
I think what you said, Tom, works aside from the $1,500, whatever
Right.
this article has.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way to word it.
Tom said it, I'll take it.
Sounds better when you say it.
It just takes us times.
Yep, good.
okay. Yeah, the ones that I was thinking about were 23 and 24.
Okay.
There was enough discussion and potentially some rethought.
Yes.
So what I got on 23 was, well, first of all, it's not a DPW special well, it is, but it's transfer station is what I have. Actually, no, that's the only change I had on that one myself. 24 and 25 were the two that materially changed. Everybody okay with that change?
Yep.
Just get rid of that space after recommended.
Oh, yep.
Or before.
That was there because of formatting other. Thank you. So 24. 24 is the one. Before we get into the material aspects, it also, this is not well, is it this fund or this article?
So,
This
This-
article allows revenue, right, to be,
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the article.
the fund doesn't do
The
it,
fund is not set up yet.
right?
but the issue that we had with the wording to accumulate year over year
Right.
was because of the way that the fund is, and there's no other fund to, and they can't change the language. So I move we re-vote on Article 24.
Second,
Okay. So, we'll have discussion, but I'll make a motion that the committee recommend Article 24.
We have to vote on whether to
Oh,
reconsider.
you're right, I'm sorry, correct. Somebody second, okay. Any
Yeah.
discussion? All-
About whether to revote.
For revoting, I'm sorry, thank you. All those in favor of opening up Article 24 for a revote, say yes.
Yes.
Aye.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. John, no? Okay, 8. 8 to 1? You're, all those no? Are you a no? You're a yes.
He said he doesn't care.
Okay.
Is it
That's
9?
not an
9-0. Motion carries 9-0. Sorry about that. Okay, so
Now you can.
now, thank you.
We've had too many
I will make a
meetings.
motion that the committee recommend Article 24.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Can we hear your thinking?
Yeah, my thinking, similar to what Kerry just said, was that they had to put the word accumulate in there because of the nature of the fund, but since it's acting purely as a revolving fund where money's deposited in and then money is paid out to the EMT, that there should be no accumulation of any material, you know,
There should be, or
there should not be.
Should not be.
should not be an accumulation, but there could be.
There could be.
There could be.
I
And that's-
asked, I specifically asked the lawyer if there was another kind of fund they could use that would force the payout each year, and he said no.
And we also asked if we could take out the year-over-year accumulation, and that is like drafted specific wording that they can't change, like it has to be in
It
there.
has to be worded that
So
way.
they,
It's statutory language for that type of fund.
right,
So we're relying on the good faith of the fire department.
Yes.
yes.
And you also have to take into account, if they do not get this fund, they are not going to fund anything, any EMTs at the school. He came right out and
So
said
he won't
that.
be able to afford it, right?
He said not any, not just the school, but not any details.
Correct.
They won't do, he said they won't do details if
Won't
they
do
don't.
details, but if there's an emergency, they'll go.
They'll go, yeah,
Oh,
they just won't do a
because
detail.
they're the fire department still,
Right, but if you're
yeah.
looking at the school, they are required to have these people on deck. And if we do not give them that, it's, the already exorbitant fees we pay for the school will be much higher because to hire a private company is absolutely astronomical.
The selectman would be the agent for this spending, no? It doesn't say that.
Would they?
Well, actually, I
Town
should,
treasurer, governing body, select,
Oh,
selectmen. The town treasurer shall have custody of all monies of the fund, pay out the same on order of the governing body, selectmen, and no further approval is required by the legislative body, town voters,
Right.
to expend.
Right, and since the fire department, I think they charge for this, I'm guessing, I'm not sure if I've got the numbers right, like $60 per person for a detail. Their portion to go back in their budget is what they would pay their people, which is like $30 an hour. And that's all they would get. The other part of it goes back to the operation budget for the town. And,
Say that again, Lauren?
well, it's like any other detail that you have. When you charge for a special detail, you don't charge the straight number that you pay them hourly, you charge more because this is an inconvenience. And if we'll say that we pay them $30 an hour to be working at the firehouse, and now they're going on a detail, just like PD, the rates go up, we'll say they're charging 60. All the fire department's gonna get is that $30 for their people to reinvest into his budget line for what he would pay for his hourly people, period.
What happens
The
to the other
excess amount
$30?
goes back into the coffers of the town.
They're only charging for the labor costs, so it will be a wash.
Yeah, and the rest of the money goes back to the town.
So, let me get this straight. The school calls for a detail, the fire department supplies the detail.
Correct.
The school pays the fire department, the fire department.
School pays the town.
The school pays the town,
Yeah.
the town pays the fire department.
The hourly
the
rate.
hourly wage, the normal hourly wage, and any extra money would go to the bottom line of the selectmen.
Correct.
In other words, eventually eligible for being used to reduce taxes.
Correct.
No, it says shall not be considered part of the town's general fund balance.
so it all goes into the fund.
Correct.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yep. So it doesn't go to the town.
So this fund is going to accumulate a balance.
No.
It shouldn't, but it could.
How,
Let's
That
make
extra
up some
money
numbers
does
so
not
we're
go
talking
into the
about it.
fire department lines at all.
Let's assume that the charge for the detail is $50 an hour.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe there's an equipment charge, but leave that aside. Who who gets the $50?
Well, the hourly rate
No, no,
normally
it-
paid,
But
Does the town or the fire department?
it gets
get the
paid
50?
to the town of where?
And they deposit it into the fund,
yeah,
if it exists.
Okay, so now the town has $50. How much does the town pay the fire department?
$50.
They pay the fire department exactly what it costs them to have hourly people work.
The hourly person in our example is earning $30.
Yes, and that would go back to his line item for paying
Town
people's
doesn't pay the
payroll.
fire department though,
So-
technically, they
So where's
deposit
the
the
$20
money into the fund, and
So
and
where
the
does
fire
the
department
fund
can
moves
use the money
into
from
the
the fund to
payroll?
pay.
Where is the $20 going that is now residing with the town treasurer, who did not pay it out to the fire department? She only paid 30 to the fire department. Who gets the 20?
It should all go to the fire department.
All goes to the fund.
Yeah.
That's not,
No, it
So
does
how do we
not.
have
That's all it
They were
access?
very clear about that at the deliberative session.
Yeah,
That
it's-
it does not all go to the fire department because they want no accumulation. They take exactly what they pay the fire department people normally, and that goes to their payroll line. The excess amount goes to the town.
It said it wouldn't accumulate year over year.
Right, because if it's the
the-
payroll line is here for
They're
fire.
only charging what the labor is, so whatever the school's paying should be the labor cost
No.
that's going to the fire
no, there's a
department.
detail cost.
It's a
that's different
detail
from the
cost
labor
is higher, just like with PD, the detail cost is higher than what we normally pay a
But the
police
PD
officer.
The PD cost is governed by a labor contract. The fire department cost isn't.
Well, the PD for the wages, correct, but as
And
far as to the
also the-
detail
The
is,
detail amount is specified in the labor contract at $66 an hour.
okay,
So in this case, it seems to me the $20 that we were talking about is going to accumulate in the town, if we're all reading this the same way, and it cannot be included in the town's fund balance. So over a period of years, and I don't know how many dollars it is per year, this fund is going to
They,
grow.
where do we
Because we
get that it cannot
challenge-
be in the
Hold
fund
hold on one
balance?
second,
We-
she started.
we did challenge that, it's not supposed to accumulate year over year, and it was supposed to be the money that was supplied for the detail would be then spent on the hours, and it's a
Correct.
wash. It's, they're paying, and it would not accumulate.
The only way that
Aren't
works.
they saying it's not gonna accumulate in this fund, it's not saying it's not gonna accumulate with the town?
No, it'll
Correct.
accumulate in this fund because it says all revenues received from the performance of fire and/or rescue details will be deposited into the fund.
Right, but as they
Period.
explained it at deliberative, and they were very clear about this, that fund will then pay to the payroll line of fire, and then that fund will then pay to the town of where it does with
Okay,
it.
so
I
what
hear
we're
that.
really, so what you're telling me now is $50 is going into the town. The town, on the order of the selectmen, will then pay the $50 over to the fire department's payroll line. The fire department's payroll line is only going to pay out $30 because that's the rate that the fire person gets. And the payroll line in the fire department just went up by $20.
No.
That could happen, but I didn't hear that that's
How
what
do you
will
figure
happen.
that? Because what goes into this fund, when they get the check, we'll say the check is for $50. The fund gets, if we're charging $30 per person normally, the fund gets that $30, the fund then
No,
moves,
the fund gets 50, that's the charge.
It's 50, all revenue.
but then the $30 from the fund moves over to the,
Right, and so what happens to the $20?
it then gets moved over into the town side.
Can't.
No.
It says,
I
It's
never
Not true,
heard
that's
that.
not correct.
Where does it say that?
It says it right
In
in
the
there.
article,
Yeah.
The chief said it.
Shall not be considered part of the town's general fund balance.
which means that it either stays in this fund under the control of the selectmen, who cannot use it for general fund purposes, or it goes into the fire department payroll. One of those two has to
It's not
happen.
going into the payroll account because they were adamant that they were not going to be having,
Two ways to handle that. The fund grows. If they bill at 50 and pay at 30, the fund grows by 20.
right.
Or they could change the amount they charge to 30.
So,
yes,
If they did that, then everything
everything's
balances
a
out.
wash, yeah.
But
I
we
didn't,
don't know what.
I didn't hear that they were billing amount higher than they were paying.
exactly, they were just billing
I didn't hear
for
that.
the labor costs.
Are-
Then there's no problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were very adamant, and the chief was saying that, you know, it would not accumulate, and, you know, they were going to be taking in what they owe, so.
And that's it.
But I would support, I voted with majority for non-recommendation. I would change my vote on this, but I would like our explanation to be very clear
Yes,
that this is based on on statements made in the deliberative session by the fire chief, et cetera,
And the town lawyer.
and the town lawyer.
All right, so we have to, we're in a motion to vote to recommend this.
yes.
So moved.
That's already been moved and seconded. So, yep, it's okay, we're in discussion. Any other comments on this to recommend? We'll discuss the language if it passes, but the exact language.
So
But Neil's request has been noted. All those in favor of the committee recommending this Article 24, raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, so that unanimous in the 9-0.
now we wrestle with the words.
Glad you voted to open it.
All right, so we're gonna recommend, okay, the first paragraph, is it okay still?
Can you make it larger? For Lori again.
So thoughtful.
Used to reimburse the fire department for those detailed expenses. As written. No.
Well, can we get rid of, was the
As
second
the-
one, the minority, can we get rid of
Yeah,
that?
goodbye to the
As-
second paragraph.
Where it says as the fire chief and town council stated
Wait a minute,
at the deliberative session.
help me out, this one?
Yep, as the fire chief.
Okay,
No, as stated by.
Oh, yeah.
As stated by fire chief and town council at the deliberative session. No money will accumulate in this fund.
No monies.
It's true.
Monies.
To match the article.
So we have to get rid of the last two paragraphs.
And
now we say the committee recommends this article, provided that, something to that effect, right? Do we wanna
You can-
add a caveat, right? That's your,
You can do that by saying, before the this
Finance committee,
the finance committee recommends this article.
Don't we
The
say that?
majority, no, it's all of us.
It's all of us,
The committee
yeah.
recommends this. Because, comma, no comma, this article because, comma, space, small a, comma after town yeah, no monies will accumulate in this fund. Or you could say it's a pass-through fund or something like that.
Well, that's good. I think it's THRU.
is it?
Yeah,
No.
for pass-through,
It is?
yes.
That's never, that's,
Who's got Google?
I like the hyphen.
Well, it would be hyphened either way, but,
Hyphen.
Oh,
oh,
no,
Google's-
come on.
no.
OUGH.
Microsoft says no.
So the THRU is a informal spelling of through.
Who?
THRU? Yeah,
For those of you who are interested in
we're
a
formal here.
bit of English language.
Yeah, informal, right.
You could go either way.
But you need to lose the last two paragraphs.
Yeah, are we killing these?
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Did we want to just reiterate there's no tax impact, or,
Finance committee amendments reference article because stated by the fire chief and town council, in concession, no monies will accumulate in this fund, which is acting as a, it should be, which is acting as a pass-through fund.
Long sentence.
Do I need to say fund twice?
Yeah. Or you could just say will accumulate in this pass-through fund.
That's good.
That shortens it.
Easy on the blood pressure, dear. We haven't got the ventilator yet.
does it make sense to
Good.
just say that there's no tax impact? I mean, just in case.
It says it's gonna say it on the article.
Okay.
Twenty-
Also, when you're creating a fund, there isn't a tax impact.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Does it say it on the article?
It does on this one.
Does it say estimated tax impact 0?
Yeah, I wasn't, I thought for some reason that was gonna go away, but,
On the schools it is,
oh, okay.
but the town always puts it on there, right? Remember that correctly?
Couldn't make the
Yes,
schools put it
it
on the
does.
ballot.
Last year's.
I just looked,
Only the warrant.
Yeah, estimated tax impact is on the
Yep.
mailer, but I don't know about the ballot.
oh,
Are we doing 25 also?
We can,
I know,
Um,
was that one you brought up or not?
yeah,
I was going to.
there's some words that changed on it.
I'm just gonna look for I got last year's ballot here.
No, no, ballot, not the mailer.
Oh, he wants
The mailer has it, yeah.
I actually have the town meeting last year also. What
It's
article?
busy out there.
Well, just seeing if the tax impact's on the ballot.
This is the warrant. I don't have the ballot.
Put 'em on. They're deerskin with fleece. They're really nice and warm that you can
Yeah, it's
be out in really cold
It
temperatures.
is not?
I get them at the
dollar
feed mill on Lucille.
But if they bring the mailer to the voting though, then, yeah.
And they have little fingers in them,
So we can add that.
which you feel so that they're mobile, but you can also have a grasp, which you don't have in a regular mitten.
Where can we add this?
But when the
They
selectmen
also come
publish
in blank if you don't like
the
yellow.
The mailer,
mailer,
it will have it, so,
there is an estimated tax impact statement for each article in the mailer.
In the mailer.
yeah.
It's under the article, it says, the article's printed, then it says recommended by the board, the vote, and then the estimated tax impact, and then there's a statement of purpose, and then there's the finance committee recommendation.
Very stylish.
I don't see a need to add it
No.
for
Because
something
in,
like this.
in the mailer will have it with the
Yeah.
tax impact, yeah.
So what's the park thing?
Not
I think
part-
we were gonna give, yeah.
I guess we're done. Okay.
Or-
Article 25 had some clarification, basically, so.
There was a removal of the facilities
Mm-hmm.
in the article.
Yeah,
There
so they did
was-
change the article, right?
Yep, and then there were things, the revenue and miscellaneous revenues were strucken and changed to donations and grants, maybe deposited in said fund.
Because people were concerned that they could move revenue over from the town budget.
Correct, yep. However, the concern about the designate of the selectmen having agents to expend the funds was still a concern from the deliberative session.
So what does, how does the article now read, Terry?
Very
So I'm gonna take a stab at it.
Yeah, I'll watch, I'll
Okay.
follow.
Shall the town establish Parks and Recs
Apparently
revolving
more
fund
taxpayers
prudent to RSA
Wait,
31?
one second, it's a different name now.
Okay.
It's Park and Recreation Land Purchase and Development.
Oh, that's
Revolving
right.
fund,
Land purchase and development.
revolving fund.
Sorry.
Yeah, silly. For the purchase of acquiring, improving, and
Well, that was
developing.
changed. Wasn't that changed?
No, it's still,
That's the same.
it's
Acquire,
still,
improve, and develop?
Land,
yeah, but it gets,
Developing land,
not facilities, get rid of
and
facilities.
facilities is struck out for parks and recreation uses, including land that may become available in the future, and to the further vote to authorize that donations and grants received for parks and recreation purposes, including but not limited to fees, donations, grants, and,
nope, it was just authorized that donations and grants may be deposited in a said fund.
okay, and then everything else was struck out?
And there was an additional RSA added on the first line, RSA 35-B:2.
35 what?
35-B:2?
Yeah. I don't think they expected the amount of discussion that this article generated.
Donations?
Yeah, donations and grants,
Okay.
and
Maybe.
maybe,
And the Board of Selectmen are still agents to expend?
Yes.
So, I was there, and I must say I got confused. And I think there was some confusion about whether improving and developing meant that they could build a sports field, including dugouts and fences and
Yes,
things.
it was when they wanted to build an arena that we had the issues, so that's where the facilities part came in. But if they want to put fences and dugouts, that was considered okay, because it's part of,
So they
Stuff.
couldn't build an arena on the land?
no, they have to get clearance from the people in town,
I mean-
because that's a whole different
I
thing.
We said, the lawyer said it's a little bit up in the air. It's a little unclear. I think we could make a case as taxpayers if we went to court and said, facilities was stricken from this in a deliberative session. We obviously don't want building facilities, and we would have a case,
Or we want to vote on it.
or we wanna vote on it,
Yeah.
but, they
Because
could
of the
probably
tax impact.
still try to do what they want.
So if they get a grant for a ball field and all they're building is dugouts, everybody's happy?
I'm still not happy that they can just decide to do that without voter approval.
Why?
Why? Because who is gonna maintain those fields? The park fund right now, they're not, so if somebody asked, I think Richard Butt asked, what, has Parks spent any money out of their fund this year, the fund they already have? Have they spent any on maintenance? And the answer was no. They're using budget to do maintenance rather than spending their maintenance fund to do maintenance, which they were supposed to be using to do maintenance. I am not convinced that the money that is in that fund is sufficient to maintain everything that exists in town and to maintain further additions. And I don't think taxpayers should be out of the loop when deciding
In other
whether or
words,
not that should happen.
What you're saying is that there are other expenses beyond the construction of the field and the dugouts and all of those things called maintenance.
recurring, yeah.
And this article, by not including maintenance, would impose the burden on the town and its taxpayers
Correct.
to pay for that.
Yes.
So also having this kind of helps them secure land in key areas, but I believe like more approval is needed for the town on the location and what is wanted to go there.
I don't think
believe
so.
Not
They can
right.
expend, they can expend
right.
from this
Says
fund
acquire.
with no, they
Well,
can
right,
acquire it.
right, that's
With
what I'm
selectmen
saying,
approval.
like with a total agreement, like they should be able to secure the land, but to be able to do anything else with it should require voters' approval and voting on it.
But that's not what this says.
That's not what
Correct.
this says.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm agreeing.
okay.
Yeah,
Because-
maybe we
well,
should,
what-
maybe it should
You're
have,
not saying
maybe it
that.
should have been amended further to just only allow
Because
for the
what this
acquiring of
doesn't
land, but
cover is,
still,
acquiring land is one thing, but then to both of your points, if they decide to put a field on it or whatever it is, depending upon where this land is, it could impose a lot of traffic for the people that live around it, you know. Again, we never have parking straightened out, so God knows what that's gonna, to do. And, you know, it's not a well-thought-out article.
Would there have to be a public hearing to spend?
Yeah, but a public
More than-
hearing, they don't have to listen to what the public says.
No, all right, I know, yeah. It's not a vote, it's not a warrant article.
No,
Agree.
they can be deaf at the public.
The other thing that town council said was, we don't actually need this fund, that people are able to donate to the town and say, I want it spent on
this.
such and such
Yes.
thing. If somebody had the money that wanted to donate it to buy a piece of land in the moment, say, you know, a piece of land was for sale and we need to buy it now, that can still happen.
Yes.
There's nothing that's stopping, this would allow multiple people to pool together, I guess.
But that can be done.
But that could be done outside of it. Like, I don't see, this seems rushed, and I don't
Yes.
think it's necessary in order to do whatever it is they say they're wanting to do.
You would still need a warrant article to expend those funds, though, correct?
No.
If
No.
somebody
No.
just gave
Somebody
the
gives the
town,
town
In
money,
which
the
scenario,
selectmen
if they
have to
give-
hold
if they
a hearing.
gave the town
The town.
money, they would still have to vote
To
on
receive it, just to
No,
receive
The
it.
town has to hold a hearing for receipt.
I think you have to have a
As
receipt.
far as what that money is designated for, that
Oh,
they don't
okay.
have to go back to the town
But essentially, that's
residents.
voters' approval for that project, though, to
No.
receive the,
Selectmen.
It's a public hearing by the selectmen where they have to listen to your input, but then they can still do whatever they want
to receive the funds.
to receive
Yes.
the funds.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
But they don't necessarily need to have a public hearing to spend it.
Okay.
But a hearing is just a hearing. It doesn't mean they have to listen to the people, or
Right.
everybody in the hearing favors X, and the selectmen can still do anti-X.
Yeah.
It's up to them.
But generally, if somebody's going to drop 100,000 or 400,000 for a piece of land of that sort, they're going to have legal documents that I will give it to the town under these conditions. Should
Right,
that
right.
not be followed, they can sue the daylights out of this place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what protects it. But this is a rushed article. I don't think it's necessary. There's no reason for it.
It was also, if it was truly about acquiring land, I don't understand why all of these other pieces were in it originally about
The
development
revenues.
and facilities and revenues. It makes me feel like there was a plan in place for something, and this was the way to make it happen, and, you know, I've not heard anything, I don't know, but I don't like the way it was all worded to begin with.
If WAC wanted bleachers for the baseball field, WAC could certainly go ahead and bring their team down and build bleachers and get clearance from the town, and that would be highly acceptable. They don't, that could be done very easily. They seem to want to put everything on the taxpayers. And
I feel like they wanna build facilities without, and that's been removed, but it was, when I specifically asked at deliberative, if this is if the purpose of this is land acquisition, why are we including this other stuff? And there was no answer
they didn't
for
have an
that.
answer for it.
And so I don't understand what the actual purpose is, which is concerning to me.
I think, how do I say this? If you are used to people who make donations monetarily or as gifts, you understand that this is usually done in a very legal sense with whatever board, fund, town, however you do this. I don't think the people putting this together have experience understanding how that's done. Therefore, they seem to think they need this mechanism, and there's absolutely no reason. If Elon Musk wanted to donate a ball field, he would have a legal document that would have that all very clearly spelled out. It wouldn't be that, you know, he'd have to do this.
Okay,
So,
does anyone, do we need to re-vote on this?
Yes.
well, do we need to
don't
re-vote
know
on it, or
if
we
we
need to
are.
change the
I'm not
language?
for it,
The language
no matter
needs
what they
changing
did, I'm
anyway.
still not happy with it.
Yeah, it was,
Oh,
We need
not
to change the-
recommended 9-1.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
is the one?
John?
I think, it's progress in the town to let this stuff happen. All this is petty, in my opinion.
Okay.
you know,
So-
I
So
think
you
we're-
still feel the same way?
I do.
Okay,
It
so
stays.
everybody
Not
else feels
worth-
the same way?
yeah.
All right. then
So there's
let's
no reason for a
Fix
recall.
the language and
We
move
need to
on
fix the
that.
link, yep.
So let's fix the
I
language.
second that, thank you.
The
No more
facilities
facilities.
definitely
We
needs
put
to
in
be
this
taken
article
out.
is unnecessary, badly thought out.
The first part, yes, the second part, no.
This article is not clear about,
And revenues needs to be taken out.
oh, yeah,
And we should
No,
also,
no, the article, that's good, the article's not clear about several things.
Yeah,
is it several?
yeah, about cost of maintaining and operating the facilities and what,
Oh.
well, the second gets taken out.
What did you say a second ago, though?
Facilities, all right.
For the purpose of Parks and Rec to acquire, improve, and develop land.
That's fine.
Yeah.
This article is not clear about several things. First, who would be responsible for maintaining, second,
So facilities needs to be strucken again.
To change to land, maybe?
I mean, there's a question of what develop even means.
Yeah,
Like, who is the cost, who would be responsible for
Cost of
cost
maintenance and operation solves that problem.
yeah.
of these, like, quote-unquote developments?
of any,
No, period.
Yeah.
no, we have to say future facilities, because they can't build facilities with this. But
Well,
if they acquire and develop land,
No, acquire, improve, and develop.
yep,
Improve and develop suggests fences and dugouts and things like that, no?
yes.
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay, so they can do something more than simply acquire land and cut down the trees and plant grass.
yep.
But
Well,
s-
this statement used to be directed towards facilities, which is now no longer in the,
Facilities
Yeah.
went by-
So
But
how
you
do we
can probably
word that?
Still take that out because it's,
Just take it out, and
Yeah.
and it reads well.
maintenance and operations, period?
yeah,
Okay.
Let's see what this, no, leave the second.
I would say maintenance and operations of any developed land.
Yeah, we have to say something about it.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
A developed land makes sense.
of,
Or I was saying cost and maintenance operations of any developed land,
of,
instead of
Instead of
and any
and.
developed land.
Say, tell me,
Keep going.
Operations, get rid of and put of.
okay,
Yep, remove the and.
yep.
And then that second. No, the second define revenue and that needs to go away,
Yeah, there's no revenue anymore.
right?
So we getting rid of this whole second half?
So our main concern is that
But the other
these
thing
folks
is,
are going to develop this land and put the burden of maintenance on taxpayers. Is that it?
Without taxpayers voting to
Right.
have this, that
Then-
matters to me,
then
that
let's say that.
taxpayers don't
well,
get to vote.
before you get to that, the other thing you should put in there is already a mechanism to do this.
Would that mean say second?
That this is an
Um,
unnecessary fund.
So
Yes.
why don't we say, this article would impose the burden of paying for the cost of maintenance operation of any developed land on town taxpayers without their input.
Should I say could? Any cost of maintenance and operations of any developed land,
On town taxpayers without their approval.
Isn't town taxpayers redundant and you just need taxpayers?
Yeah, just taxpayers is fine. You can get rid of town.
But I also think you need to put in that this article is unnecessary, as there is already a mechanism to do this.
That we can add. Moreover,
yeah.
Oops.
Lori,
No, go back to the beginning, after you get to moreover,
Okay, go ahead.
say, this article is unnecessary, or this fund. As the town already has the mechanism to accept these donations in place. And they do. Every town does.
Did town council say that your town has to accept a certain RSA first to be able to do it? And I don't know if we do or not.
To do
I
what?
think
There's
that-
an RSA that you have to adopt, that allows you to do this.
I
Yeah.
thought I heard we did adopt it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was under the impression that we were gonna be under
Well,
it.
regardless,
Okay.
it's true that there's a mechanism.
There is a
that
mechanism,
exists in
okay.
the world.
Yes, I mean,
So
the,
I don't even know if we need to get into
the
that
police
detail.
department several years ago accepted a donation in order to get guns from somebody, and they weren't doing anything with an RSA. They can do this.
Instead of mechanism, would you mind putting in procedures?
That's good.
I didn't want to commit to the fact that we actually have enabled that RSA that allows us.
You fix this part, just get rid of mechanisms now.
Yeah. I don't want to say in place. Just, there are ways to do it. Whether or not we
Yes.
currently can or not is not the point.
Yeah.
There are ways to do it.
Yeah.
And they could incorporate that.
Do you
Yes.
need to take out already?
Because they've already taken stuff in for the police department, so.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're in place.
There's, this group just has an itch that they want scratched.
Is that word, does that read well?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
Should we say for specific reasons or projects or anything like that? Is that extra?
I would just leave
I
it
think you
at,
can leave it the way it is.
yeah.
Okay.
Should we say somewhere, the finance committee does not recommend this because,
Yes.
put that in front,
Before.
between the first and second sentences. After the first sentence.
The majority.
Yeah, the majority.
Majority of the finance committee, say that again?
Does not recommend this article because it could impose any cost of maintenance.
And then, John, you want a minority about,
Yeah, I think it encourages people to donate money to the town by, providing this fund just to do this. For these purposes, which, it's beneficial.
This is plural.
I think
Majority
WAC
is
should
singular.
ask for donations. And they'd have full.
Do you want a minority line? Do you want to include that? Feels that what?
Establishment of this fund would encourage donations to allow the town to procure additional recreational land.
Getting over wordy. Would encourage people to do donations.
But it has to be for,
yeah, for a cause.
has to be for this cause, right? It has to be for land.
I guess it makes sense because the other procedures goes into the general fund where this is more specific.
Now, again, if you're donating, you can very calmly make it,
Well, you
Yeah,
can, but I
yeah.
feel this encourages people to do so because you put it
Higher
out there.
confidence. It goes into a fund that goes to the land.
all depends on who's running the board.
Fair.
How shall I end this? The majority feels the establishment fund would encourage donations for the purposes.
Specified above.
Of acquiring recreational.
Yeah, I didn't want to reiterate the same thing. So specified in the article.
Yes.
Is that okay, John?
That's fine.
I just didn't want
Yep, redundant.
Be
You don't
super
want it
redundant.
Okay.
I don't want to be overly redundant.
Next.
Yay.
Nobody got it.
To the max.
Okay, are there any other articles that anybody feels like we should discuss further? There were just some corrections and typos and stuff like that, and
There's quite the fireworks on the fireworks, but, nothing changed.
anybody else?
Not- well, the Fireworks haven't passed.
Bill will be here.
Yeah.
Selectmen should have never put it on as a
It'll
selectmen's thing.
Let me close
That
these.
requires effort.
To not even
do.
try.
I, no, they don't.
They
don't.
They
No,
absolutely
no.
don't.
Oh.
They don't wanna put in
They
the
do
effort.
nothing, and they're just like, taxpayers need to more.
What are we
Well, if you
talking
want
about?
fireworks, then you go
Fireworks.
work to get them. And people offered to donate last year, and they didn't take donations from them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They didn't want to get
It's,
donations.
it's our 250th. You don't think there'll be lots of donations?
I think there would be.
I
but-
think so.
I do.
Will depend,
they
they were
wouldn't even
fussy
try.
last year about who gave donations.
To make an effort, right?
Wrong politics.
Okay, so,
Um,
I'm not trying to cut off discussion, I'm just,
No, you're good.
Good, thank you for circling us back.
Finance Committee report,
I have, what year?
I have last year's.
Yep.
Got it. Bill tweaked his language for this year, if anybody just wants to see what I'm talking about. We got a couple paragraphs, a grid of numbers, and another paragraph.
Look, folks, look at this. This is what we have. This half page, this full page, and this.
Yeah.
You saying
Okay.
it's
That
too
is
much?
too much. We need to substantially reduce this so people actually read it.
3
You
sentences.
need bullet
The key thing,
points.
the most important thing is
Yes.
this table,
Yep.
Yeah, the money.
okay?
But you have to
That's where
narrate
the money is.
a little, you have to give a little narrative. though.
Right.
Do you have, internet?
I'm on the internet.
We have a chat GDP to like condense into like,
Write us a, yeah.
8 sentences.
I do have the data here. I did the data.
You still need to proof it afterwards, but.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, just put out and say, these are the facts from the finance committee. This is what it's going to cost, and hit the bullet points.
Yeah.
Don't write a story. They don't like stories.
Is this as long as it was last year?
It's close.
Okay.
Once upon
However,
a
there are
time.
nuances that you don't get from, like anybody knows, if a table of data does not tell the entire story, so
Right.
you want to illuminate certain points, right? And that's what Bill did here. We can shave this down a little bit. I think the first let's go sentence by sentence. I think we keep the first sentence. It's a statement of why you're reading this.
Do you even need to say that? I thought that was the point of the committee.
Yeah, but people might not know. I think it's a good introduction.
It is a good introduction. Let's see at the end how long we have it,
Yeah.
and then we can
Yeah.
look
It's
back
a
at it.
finance committee report. I mean, you could get away without it if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but
I think with that, next, the third sentence, over the last 3 years, property taxes have increased 24%. I think that's good, but is that gonna lead, I mean, it is what it is. I just imagine,
I think we need the percentage there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I think I would take this out.
Yep,
yeah,
that's too nice.
It's conjecture, I guess.
yeah, I mean, you see 24% 3 years, I mean,
That's
it
crazy.
triggers you, that's pretty excessive.
So,
You have to
Right.
leave that though.
People have reacted to little comments like that in the past, you know.
Instead of fields, put in believes.
yes.
No feels.
That means you've done some thinking on facts as opposed to just heart. That's good.
What are the town things that we didn't recommend of any significant value?
Library guide.
That's
Girl.
not really significant, was it?
No, no. It was,
Warrant article for the fund,
it was like 60,000 for the library or something.
still money.
You recommended
Put that
against the
with
school
insurance.
budget, you
Yeah.
recommended against the labor
She was
contract?
asking about town,
No, I agree.
The part-time,
DPW part-time to full-time,
Sure.
library, and fireworks, that was it.
so if we turned those to yeses, like what was the total that we?
The percentage was gonna be too high. We went through that earlier.
Right, no, I'm just wondering how much funding, like if those all got approved, how much funding did we take out of the increase?
110,000
Okay,
about.
which is a tax impact of, do we have that?
132,000 is $1, so that's about 80
80
cents.
cents.
Okay. That's not really,
But I think the sentence was saying town and school.
it does,
So it's
yeah.
the whole
Yeah,
thing.
it
So we
is.
had to say no to,
No.
it's like a collective, it's not focusing just on town.
Yeah,
Well, I think we have to keep in mind, our job is just not to say no to things. That's,
Right.
fair.
as Neil said early on in this game, we're here to make the best recommendations for the town.
Yeah. Yeah, and that explains it pretty well, that, we had to balance it while trying to minimize the increase.
Overall increase.
Yeah.
Especially like the town got most of their stuff voted down
Yeah.
last
The
year.
last 3 years, they've been
And
tanked.
even the year before.
Even though the finance committee had recommended some of
Yeah,
those.
so it's like
Yeah.
focusing on where the need is highest this year.
Mhm.
Could somebody explain to me why there's a problem with consecutive years of default budget?
I would also like that explanation.
I mean, say we're 5 or 10 years of a default budget, what's the problem? It just limits the amount of money that the selectmen can spend. It doesn't change their ability to transfer money between lines any way they wish.
Right, no, they can, right.
It's just a dollar limit. I mean,
It's an alignment issue primarily, right?
But I guess I don't understand why that's important for us as a committee or for voters. Since the only thing that we as a committee and the voters can do is to speak to the bottom line, and a default budget bottom line for 10 years means there's no growth in the town budget. Or for 3 years, as you said here, there's no growth in the town budget.
Well, when
I don't
you-
understand why no growth means that there should be growth.
When you have a year where your insurance rates have gone off the charts, and if anybody had been watching, since we had so much snow in December, all the surrounding towns, including us, went through a lot of salt because it was freeze and ice. Now there's a problem with salt has gotten more expensive and it's more difficult to get because of all that. So the budget for that, for going into this year is already
So,
being spent. So when you have higher increases in expenses that you did not anticipate, and now you're in a default budget, and we already know we're 100 and, what did she say, 110, 130,000 stuff that we're gonna have to cover that is not covered in the default, that, you have to start looking at those things.
So the argument against, in favor of the committee's recommendation, is that there are expenses that the selectmen cannot control,
Correct.
that have built up to such an extent that substantial services that are essential will be impacted.
Correct.
We have to have insurance. If we don't, and that has to be paid for, therefore, we don't have salt.
Correct.
And we can't pay people to plow the roads.
Correct, and we are also running as, we want a new cruiser, we want a new plow truck, which we're backing.
Well, that's different, that's a
That's
separate
different.
article.
Right, however, the amount we're spending on broken cars that are old is really hitting the bottom line. A lot of the money they thought they'd have for fuel, got eaten up for some of these expenses for cars that are,
Okay.
and that's why the default budget is important this year, why we need to have that changed.
My biggest concern is that your budget doesn't align with your true expenses anymore.
Correct.
And while the bottom line can still be made, because fuel went way down, insurance went up, they can find the money in the savings of one and the expense increase of another,
It's out of whack.
but you're not aligned at all, so you can't really spend according to reality. You're having to pull and find and switch
But,
constantly.
but Tom, can't the selectmen, as soon as the vote is taken, and let's assume the
They
default
could-
budget prevails again, they can simply ask Beth, rearrange the
Realign.
budget
They
so that all of the lines.
They could.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. You'd have to do that
Yeah.
if you wanted to reflect reality.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like a house, sooner or later you need to add cash to your budget, or you're gonna have a very difficult time paying your bills.
We have 24%.
I guess what I'm,
That's overall tax rate.
That's true, with the schools.
Mostly our friends at the school.
Well,
Well,
it's still
and-
going up through, even
That's not
default
the town,
budgets
that's
go up.
total.
Right,
Yeah,
Year.
so
Yes.
They're not, you know, the default budget itself is going up.
because of special education
Or
and
to
insurance.
note, like, break it out town versus school, because that might be an important note of, like, the town's only gone up 8% and the school's gone up this percent.
Oh,
They
the
will help
percentage
kind of
increase?
frame that mind when they're approaching the articles.
let's go back to this so we can write it. I think the sentence that says the committee was especially concerned with the potential impact of 3 consecutive default budgets for the town. I think rather than focus on default budgets, I think that sentence would be more impactful and accurate if it focused on the fact that, I don't know what to call it,
What-
essential expenses had increased.
What you
expenses that
said,
the
how you
selectmen cannot
explained it,
control
Tom,
had
would be a
increased.
good sentence.
So, wait a minute, we have words for this article. Do we need it in the front of it? Can we just take everything out after, you know,
That whole paragraph.
after the beliefs this is unsustainable, and take out everything that is specific to articles or key things, because then they can read it in the actual articles
That's a
for
good-
those
That's an
topics.
interesting idea.
If you're gonna include this,
Keep that.
yeah,
Yep,
if
keep
you're
that.
gonna include that, though, you have to follow that up with something. Basically, this says don't vote for anything.
Well,
So, we're suggesting that there's a balance there.
You could just say our recommendations are
Are
a
in the
reflection
articles.
of us
Our
taking
thoughtful
this
process.
unsustainability into account, or something.
yeah.
Right, that's perfect. I mean, I think you just have to follow that statement up with something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can pull those other three.
And unsustainable comma, and our recommendations.
Reflect that.
You could say reflect the need to slow spending, or, I don't know.
Just targeted spending increases.
On essential services or something.
The needs of the town with the ability of taxpayers to afford.
Now, okay, your run-on sentence.
That's okay, yeah, I just wanted to get it.
So if you say the committee believes this is unsustainable, period,
Yeah.
get rid of and, capitalize O and our, and then you can say our recommendations reflect the targeted spending increases that balance the needs and services that the taxpayer can afford.
We got the semicolon in.
A winner.
Period.
Oh, that was victory.
We'll get it later.
Man,
No.
That's word
No,
healthy.
no, bad
Well,
sentence,
you're saying the
grammatically
taxpayer
terrible.
can afford, like, we're deciding what they can afford. I still don't think our recommendations are affordable.
Well, the balance of us did.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I mean, everybody voted on
Yeah.
different stuff,
Yeah.
but,
It's true.
yeah, to say that,
Don't you think you should say that are necessary as opposed to afford? We think that what we're voting for is necessary.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
If you say afford, you're out in outer space. I think you need to be a little more,
Well, we do think they're necessary, or we
Yes.
wouldn't put it on.
right.
That's just
So
better word.
take afford and make it necessary, please.
Services that are necessary?
Yes, period.
Needs and services that are necessary, needs necessary, is not the same
Yeah.
thing?
Does that look wonky to anyone else?
Yes.
Recommendations reflect the
Roads are
need
needs that, I suppose
for
some people think they're
spending that
necessary.
balances, okay. Services that are necessary.
It balances
No,
services that
that's-
are necessary.
Need and necessary.
focuses.
One of them needs to go, right? Reflect
it-
spending that focus on, can we take out the need, reflect on the spending that focuses on services that are necessary?
I-
Yes,
Really?
That's just words, guys.
Yeah, I was like,
That
I don't
doesn't
like
say
it.
anything.
Yeah.
Actions reflect the spending that focuses.
couldn't you
Uh,
just say
put a comma
comma
after-
after Sarah's
Yeah.
our recommendations reflect that period and be done
Over
with
the
it?
past 3 years, comma, property taxes.
We can't do anything that concisely, apparently.
property taxes.
Why do we need to go anywhere? Why can't you just say the committee believes this is unsustainable?
And our recommendations reflect that.
Yeah.
Period, be done.
Yes, I agree.
And put a footnote at the end of the whole thing and say, if you need to know more, call the finance committee.
Or just say
Watch the
additional,
YouTube.
for additional information, please
Okay.
view the finance committee's deliberation.
Keep
Yes,
reading.
yep,
Delete the next 2 paragraphs.
bottom.
Yeah, say goodbye to that. Bye.
Each of those things is covered in our specific recommendations. It
Yes.
doesn't have to be repeated here.
Yeah. Same with the default budget.
Yep.
Yep. Sorry, Bill.
Successfully cut-
Primary increases.
Is
Do we
this,
say any of these things in our specific recommendations?
No. We focus more on the
So
growth.
why are we focusing in this paragraph on schools? Why, I mean,
Because the
don't we need to say
previously-
the same thing for
he-
town?
two
previously
paragraphs we
focused
just,
on town.
the ones we just deleted were all town specific.
yeah,
But did they talk about the kinds of things like primary increases
No.
for the town?
We talked about the budget, default budgets.
But we didn't go into the whole thing. I don't think you need to go into this.
does anyone see value if we broke out that 24%, how much was on the school side and how much was on the town side?
Yeah,
I think
I
that
do.
would be use, I
because
think
I think
that
that's eating the town alive financially is really what's happening.
every town.
Do you mean
Going
how
up
much,
and up.
you mean how much of that increase is school versus town? I think I think if you do that, you also have to reiterate that the town, that increase in the town is still only 18% of your total tax bill. Cause if you say that, say it was an equal amount, say it was
24 and
12%, you know, 12% increase in town or whatever,
Yeah,
and the same amount in school, but the schools take up 80%
Right,
of your.
12% of
yeah.
the,
Also have a percentage and then a dollar amount behind it or something
That-
like that.
Something like that.
That's
I
a
think
fair
there's gotta be
statement.
some equivocation there.
It's fair.
Can we say
it's gonna get muddy though.
the
Yeah.
school,
Isn't this supposed to be?
town taxes
Right,
increased
that's what
8%?
Are we getting in the butt?
School
Well,
taxes
I think
Oh,
like-
hold on, we got like 5 different people talking, sorry.
Maria's got
Maria,
a
go
good
ahead.
point.
This is supposed to be an introduction, this is not supposed to be going into detail, so.
It's supposed to be-
Okay.
It's whatever we think we need to write.
I was thinking like this would be an introduction to the sections of the vote, right? We have the towns and we have the schools, right? So this would help give that bigger overall picture that you don't get in the individual articles.
Right, this is our report, and it summarizes our recommendations and why we came up with at a high level, how we came to those conclusions, what are some of the factors, I think is what typically has been,
Can you let us run through the rest of it so we can see where we go, where Bill has suggested we go?
And it's been kind of aligned with the previous years, right? So this would just be a
Similar.
revision of,
yeah.
yeah.
When we start talking about the stuff for the school, and it shows, it's 29 cents.
But we say that in the recommendation.
Right, but what I was going to say with that is, when somebody reads it, I mean, not everybody puts in the amount of effort and cognitive thought process that we do with this. And a lot of people are gonna glance over this and say, oh, it's only $116 on a $400,000 property, not looking at the entire whole package. And I think we're throwing way too much information at these people.
What would happen if we eliminated both of those paragraphs and just left, if voters follow the finance committee's recommendations? In other words, eliminate the details about the schools,
Oh,
special
yeah, yeah.
education,
Yeah,
cost
That's fair.
pickup. Yeah,
if they
eliminate
wanna
that.
know, they can go look it up on YouTube.
Then this is consistent. If you follow our recommendations,
Yes.
And that basically is where the table comes in.
Yep, that's quick and leads in, and yes.
So how small is that now until the table?
Hmm?
Like if we zoom out to the amount of space to the table?
It's right after it.
Right, but like how much up
Zoom out so
above?
you can see how many pages it is.
why
Like-
not eliminate this entire paragraph?
I don't think you wanna eliminate
I
that.
think you
For
have to
people who
have this
can't read a
because the
chart.
average person doesn't do this
Oh,
on their
fair.
own, Neil.
Because the next thing that follows
A lot of
is
people,
is the chart.
If people know how to read a chart.
They're not gonna-
If they
no.
don't, and they read the paragraph instead,
sometimes they want language.
They don't know how to put all this together.
No, it's just some people will look at the
Your
numbers.
friends are your friends.
Some people will, some people won't. Like, I would go right to the table and say, okay, I don't like this, and I don't like, and that's okay, but I hate this. So, but some other people need the language. Everybody, left brain, right brain. I think we just provided some narrative
That's a good
context.
explanation.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be long. Let me,
Some
Bill,
people like novels, some people like numbers.
Bill doesn't have the table, but, so let me, he didn't do the math. Let me, put it in. This is my version, but
Whoops.
How many paragraphs to get to that table?
4 now. Well, no, well,
The three,
We've knocked out a half a page.
oh yeah, we knocked a lot off.
I mean, I feel like focusing on that table is the
Might get home
important
before
part.
10.
is it important that we include the information about the state taxes that we can't control?
They're not included in the table.
Right, so why talk about them?
I think for clarity, you should mention it somewhere to say, hey, these are not included. If somebody wants to do their own math and check
A lot
it.
of people don't realize that, Neil.
Could we just say that in parentheticals, that in addition to these, there's state, or this table doesn't include the state taxes, so what I'm trying to do, it's
Yeah.
important to me that people read this. And I think in past years, we just had too much verbiage.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
and we took a lot out.
People ignore it. So I'm trying to eliminate as much verbiage as possible so we focus on the important thing. And if you want to say it in words and repeat it in the table, that's fine. But
Yeah, there's too much numbers and narrative there combined, right? It's muddy.
why not eliminate that paragraph?
Sometimes,
Because I think we need it.
I think we need to state that the data below does not include county and state ed
I
taxes.
agree with that,
You
because
can
it's,
put that in parentheticals if you need to, just below the table.
But we were talking about, some people look at the table and some people look at the text, and I think it's important for people to know that there's also this other thing that's not included.
Well, I think Neil's saying,
I just put it right
no,
there.
Data presented above does not include state education and county tax.
And you're removing the last paragraph? Because I
Correct.
think what Jessica was saying is if somebody only reads
Up to the
the
table.
paragraph and they don't look at the table, they're not going, like, for
Yeah,
that,
if we say that below, we would get rid of this.
Yeah.
I don't wanna get rid of that.
No?
I don't either.
Okay.
Okay, then, well, I don't think we need to say it twice.
No.
No.
Agreed.
So get rid of the wage
Yeah.
stroke.
I think there are people who will not look at the table.
Oh, yeah,
I don't,
and there's some people that will,
Can
that
we
will.
change that paragraph to say simply, instead of all this complicated language, what the note said? The table below does not include.
that's fine.
You just wanna say it in more
Words.
narrative,
Right.
yeah. In fact, those rates haven't even been set yet.
Right.
We're using last year's rates in our,
Yep.
in our estimate, and they could go up or down, and we're doing this to kind of neutralize
Yep.
real estimates. Does not include,
State, education, and county taxes, period.
Alan's been given orders to make popcorn by the time we get home.
I'm just throwing this out there just to,
That's good.
But
Do we wanna
Yeah,
still say the
I
144
still don't
and
want that to
130?
disappear, cause I think people are like, oh, that's not included, how much is that? I don't know how much that
Yeah.
is.
Correct.
So I think
right.
providing them some point of reference is important.
Yes.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, but
You
that
might
was,
wanna say they are
last year.
currently,
Oh, we said they're not set at this time, and then we're giving them a dollar amount. So
That's-
it is- it
Yeah,
is
I
conservative.
like that. I think that makes sense. They're currently, this amount.
Yeah, but then people are gonna go off of those numbers, cause that's the way people
That's
are.
the best information we have at this time, and that's not gonna be a huge change, so.
That's better than
everything
them
only
having
goes up,
zero.
and you're like, that's what it was last year, so I can assume it's probably gonna be at least that again this year,
Yeah,
Yep,
correct.
even if I don't have the specific.
exactly.
so, state is 144, county is 130, I just wanna make sure I have these in the right order. State and county, okay. Which they are not likely to, but, should we say parenthetically how much for a $400,000 house, or that doesn't really
Yes.
matter? All we're saying here is that we've eliminated them because they're not a known quantity.
I don't think it's necessary, because you can, well, assuming they look at the table below, they can see
Does the
kind of like
table
how
show it
much.
there?
No, this table shows an increase for a $400,000 home without those.
Right, but if you don't give them a dollar figure with the $1.44 and the $1.30, I guarantee you, people are not all people are going to know that that is not just the flat figure for a home.
But Lori, these are relatively small compared to the total tax bill. There's a complication factor here. Too much information.
Well-
TMI, I think, is the
And
abbreviation.
there's
now.
nothing they can do about it.
There is
Right,
nothing,
they're not voting on it.
yeah. It's $1,000.
But it adds
But
to
they're-
their
It's $1,100.
total tax bill, and so they may
$1,000
choose
is
to
a fair amount
vote
of
differently
money.
on.
Right.
Right.
It's $1,100
Based on knowing
for a
that-
$400,000
I was gonna
house.
vote yes on everything, but now that I know
Really?
that I have
Yeah, right
this,
here.
I'm gonna say no to a couple of things to help balance that out.
$1.30 is $520,
Yeah.
$1.44 is $576, it's $1,200.
I think it's
That's money
worth, I think
people
it's
need
worth
to know
adding,
about.
on the 400,000.
You want to add it to the chart?
The dollar,
Not to the
No,
chart,
you
but
can't.
to the language. Just in parentheses, after the 270 whatever,
So you want everybody to vote against all articles?
No, but I
Because
want
that's the
people to
message
have,
you're giving.
that's
to
not, I
have a-
want them to have a realistic picture of what their tax bill is gonna be before they vote. then they can choose what's important to them and what they're willing to spend money on, but if they don't know how much they're actually having to spend in the first place, then they can't make a good decision.
Yeah, but quite honestly,
I mean, that is,
if they can't figure that out on their own, they're not gonna be making a decision based on research.
Well,
You have two
Stop.
periods
very
after
few people are
prox.
gonna read this before, and if they're trying to go to vote, if they do it at all. That's the sad part about it all.
Correct.
The neighbors I have that get the most, never look at the
That's certainly an accurate and concise statement.
is it gonna change how you vote?
No, and we've cut enough out of this, there's more
Yeah.
to be cut later on, so,
Fair.
I mean, I can live with it.
Yes, that's good.
Yep.
Move on. Looks great.
Alex, all right?
You're gonna fill in the blanks, Tom?
Yes, well, yeah, I'll fill them in, they're in the chart, I'll put them in. Yeah, and just so to be clear, it'll be, if you follow if you follow ours, you would be at $20.05, which is an increase of, I have it in my other sheet,
Okay,
compared to what we had last year for the same item.
yep, okay.
Do we have the percent increase in the, oh, it can increase
I will add
of-
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got it calculated. So 2005 is our recommendation this year. It is a $459 or a 6.8% increase for a 400,000 home over last year.
Shouldn't the percentage increase be the same
As,
for all houses?
yeah, it would be the same. Oh, no. No. I calculated it based upon, so this is, 2005 times the assessed value. Then I took that minus last year's number right here, which gives you the 459. Yeah, this is not a $400,000. This is, no, this is for a $400,000 house. It's not the same, this rate should be the same for everybody,
Yes.
but I'm giving you the $400,000
Yeah, okay,
dollar amount and rate.
That,
okay, let's go
That
back
make
to the
sense?
language.
So I have the calculations, I just gotta plug them in.
Yep,
looks
keep
great.
going down.
Keep going.
This is the paragraph directly below the chart.
Yes.
Okay, here, I think after the first sentence, you can eliminate just about everything.
After the first sentence? Yeah, yeah, too many numbers in there that don't make
Because
sense.
everybody's eyes are gonna glaze over.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that, the first sentence isn't,
We can change the first
I was
sentence.
gonna say, the schools have said they're not returning
I
this
don't-
year what they
You
have
don't
in the
know
past.
this.
That's true, but they have historically.
They have, but I don't wanna say that and then people think that it's gonna be returned when they have already explicitly come out and said, we will
Right.
not be.
Take out the thing about the schools.
The committee, however, cautions this isn't likely to happen.
Okay, I
Okay,
can see that.
keep going, that's
Love
good,
to
keep
see.
going down. He really changed that nicely.
That's the end of it.
Excellent.
Is that one page?
In one paragraph. The whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can
Oh,
we read
yes.
that last paragraph again?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep, no, we haven't spent enough time on it. Whoop, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I don't,
Um,
so, let me just read it out loud. While this would represent a considerable increase in taxes, it should be noted that the town has conservative revenue projections. And the schools have historically returned unexpended funds to offset taxes. The committee, however,
They both have.
this isn't likely to happen this year. So the town also isn't giving any money?
No, you're right, it's both. So it should be noted that the town and school districts have conservative revenue projections,
Comma after projections.
and they have both historically returned some unexpected funds.
I don't think that's useful.
I mean, ultimately, we're trying to say,
We don't care what they've done in the past.
the committee does not expect unexpended funds, does not expect there to be unexpended funds this year, and so.
We don't expect to see money returned.
The recommendations in the table will likely be the real tax impact. We don't even need to say they've returned them in the past, but they're not
Yeah,
going
there's
to
no
this year,
reason for
and they
that.
just,
It's like, we set an expectation in the first sentence that we say never mind in the second.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really get rid of most of it and say that,
You could just say no revenue,
Expected to be returned,
yes.
similar to past years or something like
no.
that.
But unlike
no,
past
you don't
years,
have to talk
we-
about
No,
past years.
No,
You have,
the town and school, or town and school
Are not anticipating.
Are not anticipating revenue to be returned this year.
So-
Then-
yes. and
No,
just-
they are, they're anticipating some, just not the same amount as last year. It's not a none, like they'll be, the school has to give money back.
Don't say anything about it.
I know, but I'm just qualifying what Maria and
So-
somebody else had said.
When they return money, we have to pay less in property taxes.
Right,
the more they
So-
return.
the more they return.
Like, if our property taxes increase 4% with
Yes.
this budget, and then they don't increase, like, they don't return as much revenue, will it actually feel more like an 8% increase because we didn't have as much money returned?
Yes.
So we're actually paying more based on not having that revenue plus the
I
additional?
don't
No.
think you
don't
need
think it
that
works
last
that way.
paragraph at all.
The rates are the rates,
Right.
but the increases are the increases based upon what we recommend, minus revenue.
Okay.
The revenue will come in, and the rate will be set at a lower number than that,
Okay.
right? No, am I saying
So
that
if the
correctly?
if the revenues come in exactly as projected, we will have a 6 point whatever.
These numbers will
percent
match
increase.
100%.
But if the revenues come in higher, then that 6 point whatever
Could go
goes down.
It'll drop a little bit.
If the revenues come in lower,
It could go
that
up.
6.8 goes up.
Right.
So what is it that we need to say about future
I don't
revenues?
think you need to
that-
say anything about
Well,
it.
okay.
Yeah, I think this is very confusing.
I think
Say
just,
most people
there's your
like-
chart, leave it alone.
If we're saying that this has happened in the past, we don't think it's gonna happen in the future, so the chart we think is fairly accurate, why don't we just take all that out and let this chart speak
Just
for
leave
itself?
the chart do its business and stop meddling around.
Let me just take a shot at this for a second.
The current tax rate that we're calculating right now involves the current revenue that we got last year.
No.
Why do we want to go to that animal? We don't know what it's going to be. And to give them a hypothetical that they don't know, now you're screwing with numbers that we just gave them our
The
heart.
reason why these were put in the past was that they reflected reality, that historically, there had been revenue that the school districts gave back to taxpayers, and the selectmen historically took money out of the general fund surplus and put it towards taxes.
Right, but that's
But we
not,
don't expect that to happen this year. The schools think they're not going to return any money to the towns, and their revenue projections are probably pretty good.
Did they say that?
Yeah.
They said no money?
yeah.
They said very little. Don't expect what you've
Yeah.
gotten.
If you got did they put 100,000 in? Because that's what he usually
I
does.
think that's what they put, but then I think he said not to expect
Where
that.
said
They-
not to expect
They
anything.
say that every year.
No, their problem is special education. They-
Well, I know that, but, yeah, it could be less, but they're gonna spend.
The question for me is, does it help, when we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't have any past trends that we think we can forecast accurately for this year, is it helpful to say that taxes could go up and down depending upon how revenues come in?
Yeah, you could get rid of everything and keep the last sentence, say the tax rate could increase or decrease as a result of,
But do they really need to know that? Because by the time we get to tax season, when we actually start getting our tax bills, they're not gonna sit and really study the revenues and did they go up or go down. They'll just know their taxes went up and down. They really do
but I
not
don't
get
know if
into the
we're
weeds.
being honest with them by not including this particular source of income.
Historically, our estimate has come in a couple of percentage points higher than the actual tax rate. So, like last year, we came in at like 8%, and we actually increased by 6, let's say.
Yeah, but the revenues are gonna be terrible this year.
But the
You
way-
can't say that, you don't know.
The way this is phrased, Tom, it suggests people should have a hope
Yes.
that there will be more revenues coming
And
in.
that's not a good plan.
Sure. But
Okay.
if you looked at the data over the past couple of years, you would see that we were coming in high,
The
do we-
revenues were coming in
better,
better than.
because they were conservative
Right.
estimates.
So it doesn't make sense to say, hey, that's what happened in the past, but we don't think it's gonna happen this year?
Right,
No,
no,
I
no,
think
it's,
just
right,
leave
it's
it.
dangerous.
Leave it.
Beth
off.
keeps talking about how dire their situation is in the town and that there's no extra money. So if we truly believe that and you're willing to vote for the proposed budget, then there probably isn't gonna be much left over to return.
Leave it out.
And yeah, what the schools have said, we are not, they were like, we know we've returned it in the past, but we are not going to this year. Like, they are being very explicit about.
I think from a holistic budget standpoint, talking about revenue somewhere, just a high-level summary, I think that makes sense.
So, note,
We do not
tax
anticipate.
rates, the tax rate could be changed depending whether revenues come in higher or lower than anticipated.
Yeah,
And I think you
But
can
we have
clear-
no reason to think that they're gonna come in
Yep.
higher.
Yep,
You could say
So
something
you
like
should
that.
say forecasts are showing that that's not going to happen. Don't just leave it with it could go up and down. You need to be
Yeah, yeah.
very clear and then shut it down.
we suspect or forecast.
We do not want to be in the business of forecasting.
no, we're just caveating here, that's all, that there's a variable.
So,
It could go either way, too.
note, revenues may come in higher or lower than estimated, and this would affect tax rates.
All indications show that they're going to be lower. I think you need to let people know that it's.
We're saying we're not forecasting, though. Are we forecasting?
You're
or
saying
not?
they can go up or down, so they're gonna go with the up. I mean, that's the nature of people, and either you
I think
bite the
it's-
bullet and say, we're being told that not to anticipate
Maria,
revenues,
Get some
or
language
leave it
in here,
out.
please.
Well, I would say,
I don't think it's fair to say that any,
I would
I-
get rid of all of this and just say, no, tax rate could increase or decrease based on revenue. And you can add just a little bit of language.
Yeah.
This paragraph is,
Way too busy.
That's a nice disclaimer.
yes.
Really, because we don't know what's.
Our crystal ball is foggy.
So that way, we're letting them be aware that there is this other
Yeah, variable.
element to this, but not saying whether it's gonna be X or Y
You
or.
put just before that first sentence, put note, colon, not semicolon,
oh, that's what I said, semicolon.
not the T down to,
Little t.
You can get.
and then delete the second sentence.
Now it's even smaller.
Good.
The rest of it.
And if they're all that interested in what the revenues are, then
And the reason for not saying any more is that, number one, we don't think they're going to be, we don't think they're going to change substantially, basically.
Do you ever include the total, what you anticipate the total tax bill on a $400,000 house to be, or you only talk about increases? What do you mean? Like, I didn't know if it was worth putting a line in, it's like, the total rate on a home, a $400,000 home would be,
$8,000.
right, like it'll cost you.
Oh, the total?
I always
Like the
thought that
total
it was
amount.
like really sneaky.
Oh, we could
To
put,
only talk
this
about
is-
increases.
Cause someone that isn't like in the know, and
Yeah.
they put like, the tax rate for this will cost you 0.7 cents, right?
Mhm.
Someone that doesn't know that's per thousand
Right.
of your property,
Well,
would be like, oh, this is only 7 cents, it's gonna cost me 7 cents.
And it's
if you
7
don't
cents,
for it."
it's 7 cents on top of the $2 you're already spending on that thing.
yeah,
I think it's kinda
these are inclusive, these include so we calculate the new tax total for somebody and we just compare it to last year's. We could easily put the
But the
expected total tax bill for a $400,000 house.
the most important thing for most people, I think, is the increase. Because I paid last year's taxes, I'm surviving. Now my question is, can I afford another $14? Okay?
Can we bold the word increase so that it stands
There's something
out?
wrong with that number of, or article rejected, yeah.
feels
I mean,
like-
people are gonna look at
Yes,
that
$14.
$400,000
$14
home.
taking out the state and then county tax, state education and county tax. It's more than that.
Leave it at increase. It's always an increase.
That's true.
So are you saying that a
But-
$400,000 home, if all articles are rejected, they're only gonna pay $14 for taxes, because that's what they're gonna take?
$14 more than last year.
It says change, so why don't you say increase
That's what it said.
for a $400,000 home?
Yeah, and I guess what I had said, what I would have done is add another column that's like, the total
Total,
cost.
yes.
For total tax bill
here's
for
our-
$400,000.
Remind me, don't you?
Yes.
So here's
Yes.
the real estate that we're working with
Yeah.
though, so.
Yeah, we
I
don't
know
have
we've
a lot
chopped
of-
everything else out, so it's fine to put that in. People,
Well, except it's only so wide.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, that's like the true picture of,
Unless we-
that's, you know, people.
The font's just gonna get
no,
smaller,
because
that's
they're
all.
not gonna do what you think they're
Well,
gonna do.
then Kate's going to want a column that adds the two together.
Well, what?
No, and
Well, no, it
it's
would just
fine
be
if we
more.
don't add it, it is a piece that is missing.
mean-
I didn't know if you'd ever included it, or.
There is some margin that, you know, as he
For sure.
squishes them and
For
there,
sure.
there might be.
Has to be big enough to
Or
I don't know if you can
what if
print
we
that
added
far
a second table below just to show,
Two
Okay.
tables
Now
is
you're
more
making it,
than they
you're
wanna
making
look
it a little
at.
bit more,
Fair.
Asking a bit much.
I think this-
Oh, yeah, look at all that real estate.
we got more room, we can make more room if we need to. It's
So
just,
you want it,
Put the total
I
there.
think it's just gonna be too
well,
small.
just make an argument against it. I don't,
Look at this.
I think it,
it's small.
This
It
is
is.
teeny.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna have to take a magnifying
Those
glass.
could be bigger, those numbers could be
Why
bigger.
can't you turn it on its side?
I don't format.
I'm not saying we have to
That's
put it,
wild.
I'm not saying we have to put it, but it is, I think,
supposed to be
valuable
educated by a
information that
great
is
school
not
system.
included.
I would've
it's,
been too.
you're right, Kate, it is, but
You think I'm being too
this
cynical?
whole,
It's
No,
this
I
old
think
water,
you're
but
right.
this
they
whole
need to know it.
exercise, the whole town,
what,
Well, these rates don't mean a lot to a lot of people. They don't understand,
can,
it's
we see
$18.93
They have no clue.
times.
We can't though, cause we
Can
won't
we
know where it
share-
looks like on here.
can
right?
we share a column, so increase and then parentheses total, or a slide, probably parentheses, right? And then you could put the total in the parentheses.
Well, if you're shorting the name.
Parentheses mean negative numbers to a lot of people, so I'd be careful with that.
you want a separate, if you wanna do this, you put in a separate column,
Yeah,
total,
it should be a separate column if you're gonna do it.
total for a $400,000 house.
Yes, you need that.
Neil doesn't want people to know how much they're actually paying.
But people need to
'Cause
know.
then they'll
because
vote no on
they're not gonna
everything.
do what
I
you
thought
do.
you
They
would
are
want
not
them to
gonna
know.
figure this
Add
out.
that column.
I have it in here.
I was a no vote on many things, against recommending things, and you're right, Kate, that column would help my view. But I just don't think it's fair. I don't think that's the focus of this. I think the focus of everything we do has been on the increase
Yeah.
and not the total.
Yeah, but I think you
that's fine
are
with me.
trusting that everybody has the same level of knowledge you have to figure this out.
Well, they're paying property taxes. I would think that they would know how much
No.
they're paying.
No.
When people
You
pay
need
it
to
rolled
talk
into
to
their
more people.
mortgage,
No
it's a
clue.
You
lot,
don't see it.
you don't
That's
see
really-
it as
They're more-
a single
fair.
amount.
That's the worst thing to happen ever since
Really?
payroll taxes.
Guarantee
Yeah.
people
You don't-
have no idea.
you don't
People
see it.
do not know what they're paying.
Some
No
people
idea.
pay attention to
No
that,
clue.
but like, when your mortgage gets paid off, you notice.
Yeah.
You need to get out
30-year
more.
mortgages.
People
I had
don't,
to
Let's
specifically
go around
look
the
it up.
table. Do each of, who here does not know what his total property tax bill was last year?
So I'm going to be honest, I didn't know until a couple years ago.
until you get on the finance committee should be the answer.
So, I mean, I was ignorant for quite a while.
It's right up,
I mean, I have a ballpark,
You
but I
could literally
do not
find
know
it
down to the
online in
decimal.
like seconds.
it varies for everybody by assessed value too.
Let's see what it looks like with, the next column says, total tax for 400,000.
Oh, you need to change this. Is it home or property?
Home, that's what we're using.
So, are you
Well, that's what-
I mean, it is property, but
Are you
home
suggesting we
is,
take out the increase column altogether?
No.
No, leave the
No.
increase.
column.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry, John, I threw you off there by doing what I was doing.
Right. Now, put in the next column. No, it goes after the first one, right?
yeah, yeah, so the
I-
total
yeah,
would be
I
on the
put it
end.
at
The total's on the end.
Correct.
Okay,
And that would be with the increase?
With the increase.
With the increase. And then on that last line, you could put what the total would have been with the rate last year.
we are out of room, Kate.
Because you have, you already have 2025 tax rate as
This
the
is
bottom
gonna
line.
end up being so small,
We
nobody.
have no room,
Yeah.
I'm guaranteeing
You
you.
don't need the
If they really
cents.
want, they can,
Well, you can
the
make the
math.
Fill it in.
schools smaller.
I mean, a little bit, it's just
If
looking
you
at how
put
it
E
prints.
slash W school, that's elementary and where schools, J S school is John Stark. You don't need to
But there's
spell
still
all this
not a
stuff
whole lot
out.
of room
Are you sure those are,
here.
Shrink
Yeah,
the
that's
pie.
about right.
Yep.
my house is around 500 and I'm paying pretty close to 12,000.
Everybody has a little different rate, based on their assessment. This is an average. This is the tax
Do you
rate,
have a mountain view?
but there are various,
Yeah,
there are
a
variations.
little one, right?
You've got the orchard,
109,000 is
you've
like
got the orchard and the
130,000.
pond and
That's
the,
it?
and the barns and, you got a lot.
I don't get assessed for the.
It's not your house value, it's your whole property.
Yeah, but it's all in current use.
Okay. I mean, we can check the math for sure. I mean, I'm not against that at all.
Well, maybe
It-
they
it
made a
is
mistake on my
strange.
tax
I
bill.
have to say though, because all articles rejected, okay, you know what, this doesn't include the other.
Yeah, that's the thing, it throws you off because it doesn't include the,
There you go.
but that's a constant,
It doesn't include the
state and county.
state and county, which was another 1,200 on top of this.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
But I
yeah,
think that's a much clearer
that's-
picture. People will respond to that last column. They will figure that out.
Do you want us to put in the last column, the 274 for the,
well, that's what, like, yeah, unless you read that whole thing and understood that those numbers aren't
So
included in that, then that
There's
number
no
is
way we're getting
misleading.
another
Yeah, right.
column unless we make a separate table.
Because you can't approve or reject those, and we don't
Yeah.
recommend it. They're just neutral. Everybody has them.
Yeah, but most people will not.
Don't have
it
room
there
for another column, I
500,000
guarantee
or
it.
$500.
where do we say the tax increase is 6.7%?
The average person has
We
no
say
clue.
that somewhere in there, that if you follow our recommendations, it's a 6.7% increase?
Correct.
I mean, if you've got a.
Yes,
mortgage
it'll be
with
here.
a mortgage company and you don't think
Uh,
about
the
that.
ra-
Increase of, okay,
Increase of over last year.
thank you.
And so that number for 400,000 would be the 6.08,
6.08 as opposed to 6.8.
6.08, 6.1.
Okay. Yeah, do it to the nearest tenth.
Yeah, no, I don't,
So, Tom, just on the chart, that $14 is bothering me, because you're gonna double check all the numbers, right?
I have already done that, but if it's bothering you, we should definitely,
It doesn't seem, I'm not sure, I I don't know.
I don't think you need to show them the increase from last year to this year. I think you just give them the total of the new column we put
Well,
in
we
there.
had a larger,
Let's do one
Because
thing,
they
at-
don't
let's
know
do
what
one
they're
thing at a time. I can't respond to everybody, to different, 5 different threads, I'm sorry. Let's, Jessica had a question.
I
Let's-
just wanna make
let's stick
sure
with that.
that's actually the right,
Uh-huh,
it's so low,
yep,
Last year
Doesn't
was
seem right.
19.
it was $19.
Yeah, last year was
Alright.
1908, so I mean, it's not that far off.
well,
Yeah.
no, but
But
that
that's
wasn't,
per thousand,
the,
right?
can you go back to the chart, please? That number, and scroll, yeah. The 14 is the increase, not the rate, so that's where I'm trying to figure
It's
out.
the
If the
increase.
rate is, yeah, so I'm wondering if that is the right number for the increased dollar amount, but is it?
So, let me go back here to where I got it from. How about we look at the actual data instead of, that
Okay.
chart's just a reflection of this. So all fail is 1393 over, this amount is $13.93 over the tax that a $400,000 home would pay, is paying now. So if you take the 1890, and again, that takes out the county and state, right? Because our tax rate, let me even go back further. Our tax rate is 2164. If you take out the 144 and the 130, you get 1890, right? This 2164 is just the sum of 1890 plus these two numbers. So if you take the 1890 and you multiply it times 400 for thousands, right? You get 7560. So this is what, taking out the state and county taxes, you're paying 7560 for a $400,000 house right now,
Okay.
okay? 7560 is a difference to 7573 of $13.93. So that's where that number comes from.
Okay.
Does that resonate?
I don't know, well, like, cause, like Maria pointed out, the rate last year, if they're all rejected, was 19, but the total increase was 476, and I know it was last year and this is this year, it just, it seems like such a small amount, it just, in my mind, doesn't make sense.
But
Well, the
are you
19,
comparing apples to apples? Because this year's rate
No,
doesn't
but that's
include
a
the
huge difference.
274, whereas last year's 19 and change does include the 274, or whatever it was.
no, from the table?
part of that was,
We never include that, the county and state.
I just wanted to make sure it was accurate, or that you were gonna double check it before you sent it,
I mean,
that's all.
I've double checked everything, and
Okay.
doing it again now.
Yeah, that's fine, I just wanted to,
there were raises or something in the default budgets that went up last year, right? That didn't go up this year? Like, what changed?
No, hold on, we're talking apples and oranges, hang on. So, the total, if it's all rejected, oh, you're saying that the total last year, if all was rejected, was 1908?
yeah, well, and then if
Instead
you
of
look at all
1893.
articles approved is $2 higher, but it's $837 instead, versus, it just, the numbers don't, like, something in my brain is like, I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but it doesn't sit right.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying.
What are the articles that are increasing the dollar amounts?
But then recommended
We've
is
already voted
just a
on
little
those.
bit lower, and
No,
that's
no, no.
460, so
If-
maybe
if
it's fine, I don't know.
all are rejected, like, what are the increases if all are rejected? What are the things that are,
It's just
Yeah.
Right.
3 default budgets, that's all you
Okay.
get, that's all you get.
so the two schools in the town? Can we
Yep.
look at the spreadsheet of,
Increases from last year, go into
I understand, I want to see the numbers.
Yep. So, if we go back to all articles rejected. It's 1021 for the Ware School default. So, that's where you get the 1021 here. I mean, it's possible I have something wrong there, it's good to look into it. The John Stark is 497. Right? And so that's where that 497 comes from. And then the town is 376. And that's the sum of what the tax rate would become minus these two, right? And so if you take 21 67 minus,
You could just probably highlight those three and then
yeah,
sum it at the bottom.
it's 1993, right? That should be a 19 then. No, did I do that right? Hold on. 2167 minus 274. That's why highlighting it's probably better. Sorry, 1893. So that 1893, that's the total.
I think we need to eliminate that last column.
No.
And the reason is that it is misleading. It doesn't include the 274.
Right.
I agree.
And that's wrong. We are misinforming people.
Okay.
I think it makes it unclear. It's gonna make people think, oh, my taxes are, if they do know what they pay in taxes, then my taxes are gonna
It
be less
does,
than what they
right?
actually are.
Right above the table, though, it does say the table, which that is in the table, does not include those
Understood.
and
Right.
1,100 for a $400,000. So we are
But if you only
providing
look at
it.
the table,
You are absolutely right from a legal point of view. From a practical point of view, that disclaimer doesn't override the information that you've told me. My God, I'm only gonna be paying $7,000. Last year I paid $8,000.
Fair,
Well-
okay.
Yeah, it is misleading.
If you're gonna go with that, I think you need to keep the last column and then add a column that has the state and county tax in it. But the one you should pull is the one that says $14 and that stuff. The average person is not gonna sit there and figure that out. They're going to think that it's a $14 increase period. They are not gonna know what the total is. People don't run the numbers.
And the total doesn't include the county and state tax, which none of this does. And it does look like it's your total tax bill.
Right, but I think
It
you ought to
isn't.
pull the increase for 400,000 home, $14,837. That is misleading. What you should have is the 400,000 K for the home, and the next column should add what it would be for the county and state. That column with the $14 is extremely misleading. You are making the assumption that the average taxpayer is going to be able to figure this out, and the average person doesn't
So-
think that way.
That's the amount you have control over, that's all. It's $14 out of the amount, of the portion that you can control is what,
Just a little bit more disclaimer, would it help in the comparison table, 2026 estimated tax rates title, add a parentheses, excludes school and county tax.
State, county.
State and county tax.
I'd like
I mean,
to
it's
Yep.
just a
Says
little
that
bit
right
more.
under it.
says-
It does, but they were just saying that they might not read it or see it.
Oh, gee.
It's right above the
I
table.
think at some point we
I
have
know
to
what you're
accept
saying,
the
but-
fact
Yeah, yeah.
that we're not teachers, we're not, it's not our responsibility to teach.
well, it's not a
people.
textbook.
It says it right there.
That's what I mean.
It does say it right there.
I can
So
see.
we leave it just as it is.
I can see some
Yes.
people going straight to that table, and I see the argument of the misleading, that it looks lower than what
But if you eliminate the last column, it's not misleading.
yeah.
Oh, it's extremely misleading.
Well, you see
Because
the
it's
interest.
$14 on a $400,000 house, that's a fact.
Yeah,
The
Based
average
based on how
person
you vote.
doesn't know what their tax bill is, Neil.
I understand that.
So
But
they're
we're
gonna
ju-
not understand
Well,
this at all.
They understand that they're gonna, whatever they're paying or not paying, they're paying an extra 1,400,
do we
an
just,
extra 14.
bold the increase column, so that just
That's
stands out before?
$14 per thousand? Or flat $14?
No, it's
It's
$14, it's $14, not per thousand.
Bolding that column probably is not a bad idea, but eliminate the total, the last,
Yeah, I don't like the total, the more I look at it.
I would like the total if it was actually the total, but since it's not the total, I do think it is.
It might raise
Confusing
more
and misleading.
questions to be-
Yeah.
And we can't give a total, even if we knew the new rates, because there's slight adjustments, slight variations based on assessments and things like that, so. You don't wanna give people something that says, this is what your taxes are gonna
Marching
be.
back.
Yeah. I do hate that people don't know what they actually pay, but I
Yeah.
guess we can't force them to know.
Fair.
They'll find out
The
in
whole
fall.
premise of this is just
And then they're
that's
surprised.
what we're voting on.
Right, that's the essence of this, is
That's good.
based on how you vote, this is what you're gonna see.
Did you wanna
Well,
add?
Bold the title of comparison table. Yeah.
And just for my comfort, can I just go back to this? So you agree with the 1893 is the sum of the three budgets, right? Minus the county and state. And then if you multiply that times 400, which is the 400,000 divided by 1,000, that's how you come up with the cost.
1893, and how much were the state and county taxes? 274?
274, yeah. That should be 2167. So I took the 2167, which is the sum of the cost per thousand for all the default budgets,
And that compares with the current tax rate last year of,
2164.
so it's a 3-cent tax increase?
Yeah, 2167 to 2164 is 3 cents.
I still don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it's like breaking my brain, I just can't.
Yeah, it's a .16 difference. I'm adding up 3 to 31, which includes everything. The only things that are in there are the cost of the default budgets. We can go to the raw data.
And that goes, you've got the schools, that includes the schools, right?
Yep.
Yep.
The
Is
two
there a
schools,
possibility that any of the numbers that you entered in there are inaccurate?
there's a possibility, sure.
Or is that in the town
We could,
budget in January 19th?
I wouldn't use that, I would use
The warrant?
the warrant from the deliberative. So let's validate these, let's go back, I wouldn't mind doing this. So the Ware School budget, 1021, actually, they have the numbers right in the, they have the tax impact for the default, right? Did they give us that? But I calculate it anyways. I take the total budget over the assessed value, is how you come up with that tax rate. Did they give us those?
Not in the deliberative.
No,
Oh, this is the fine, sorry.
Yeah.
Is this it?
So is that where? That's town.
Where doesn't give you the tax impact of the default, just of the,
Well, it's in the,
Oh, it's in this book.
it's in their sheets too, it's in their, they handed out, on paper clips, the budgets. That's revenue. No, they only have dollar numbers.
I have the 2026 default, which is sad.
That's town.
It's town.
That's town.
Oh,
Okay.
you
We can do town. I got 376, did I give you a rate?
wait, you said for the town?
375.
375.
Yeah, her rounding is off, it's 376. What?
They have 378 on the warrant,
For the default?
yeah,
For the town?
for the town.
Okay.
378 and 405 are proposed.
Oh, it may be that they changed
The revenue.
the revenue,
She keeps changing, the
132.
revenue keeps going.
599 or something?
So what was the regular budget?
On the warrant for default, it has 378.
And what was the proposed?
And then what was the proposed?
Proposed was 405.
Yeah, okay, so the default changed for some reason,
Okay,
a little bit?
let's use their numbers.
That means I need to know the total cost of the default budget, which might have changed.
The total cost of the default budget is 9253071.
No, that's what I have.
You got that?
That comes out to a 376.
She has 375. I don't know why they have 378.
Well, she has a different anticipated revenue.
Right, they could have changed
Which
the
would-
revenue.
So the bottom line changed is what it is. So I have the budget, okay, so what's the, actually, this thing I should have asked you, Kate, was what's the offsetting revenue for the town? That's a different number than what I have, probably a change.
Are you talking about the total to be raised by taxes?
No, the revenue to offset to the bottom line of the budget.
Hold on.
4,284,032.
That's what I have.
I got 4,658,515 in Beth, in this.
I'm talking about on the warrant.
That's the number I have, so this is not there
Okay.
No,
somewhere.
Maybe her,
this is the number that
Uh,
Beth has.
That's cool.
what do you have for valuation?
That didn't change.
The valuation divided by 1,000, she
Hmm.
has 1,322,559.
Yep.
Yep.
So I divide that by that's actually the valuation divided by 1,000 already. So if you go to which one we're off on the default budget. So if we take the raw data, is this the default budget number? It should be.
4969039.
039?
Um,
969,039.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you take that and we divide that by fixed values B2, which is that number, which we are aligned on, right? Then that comes out to 405, I'm sorry. Comes out to 376.
but the
So
the
376
budget
is correct.
approved is aligned at 405?
Yeah, those ones are aligned.
Okay.
So this is, 376, it doesn't go to 378 in any possible scenario here. So that might be typo or,
Could be a typo.
Is
Yeah,
that-
they had a lot of other
Mm,
things
Yeah.
that needed changing.
Adjusting.
I think mine is correct. If we're matching on the revenue number and the budget, the default budget, 9,253,071, right?
Yep,
And the revenue 4,284,032,
yep.
that comes out to a 4,969,039.
Yes.
And then I calculate the rate here again. I can just compare. It's 376. So it's 376. So if we go to all fail, so that number's correct. We can quickly go through the school ones if we have them. Did they give default budget? They didn't give default budget tax impacts.
No tax impact, just the dollar amount.
So if you can tell me the dollar amounts, let me just get there. So for what's the total budget number?
For default,
Yeah,
21,369,615.
that was proposed.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
21,057,226.
26. And the revenue, do you have that?
I don't have the.
No, that's on the revenue sheet, and it's really hard to read, especially when you get to John Stark. The revenue,
You want me to read it?
they don't give you the revenue number, they give you the budget minus the revenue.
Because they don't know the revenue.
No, they have the revenue, but they don't, they just tell you the local tax assessment. So for the proposed budget, I back the revenue into the total budget minus the amount they're gonna tax us. They don't actually give me this number, I just subtract it out.
But they give you the 13,818?
Yep,
Okay.
818,841, so this is for the where, that's the amount they're gonna tax at 1045.
Okay.
This was last year. So 1045 is the proposed budget calculation. And if we go to all pass, 1045, right? So, and then John Stark is a little squirrelier, it's our share, same thing for our share. You gotta make sure you don't include Henniker, which I did the first time, the bill caught that.
Do they break it out between the two different towns?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I just took the number from the budget instead of from the revenue sheet, which was a mistake.
Just to make sure the numbers are
That's been correct. I have, but I
Just to make sure we're all.
don't have the John Stark one anymore. I don't know what I did with it.
These are already double checked, so if there's an error, it's easier to catch it while looking at it.
Did John Stark give any, well, do you have the budgets for John Stark? Andy, for the Ware share?
No,
No.
not the Ware share.
Yeah, that's in the PowerPoint. They don't put it in the, they just do the total budget. They don't give you the breakdown until you get into the PowerPoint, unfortunately. So Bill and I confirmed these numbers. Our share of the budget minus our revenue, and these are the two numbers.
So both you and Bill agree on that?
Yeah, we sat down one night and corrected my original, these numbers were wrong. And these are red because these were wrong too. Our share of these, I had the whole cost and not the share. So, if you look at all fail, the 1893 comes out of that. Out of, these three combined are 1893. And then,
Oh, it's
1893.
because the John Stark revenues came in a lot higher,
Yeah.
and their tax rate went way down,
Oh,
and it's offsetting
thank you,
some of
that
the
was
increases.
what I was,
That's the
that's the
very-
dot I needed to,
Very
No,
dots I
no,
needed
you're right.
connected.
Revenues are different every year. Your budget can go up, but the cost to us could go down,
Yeah.
could be
No,
lower.
what happened
I
this year.
understand that, it just, it
They
was
did
such
it
a
John Stark.
Last year, all warrant articles
Well, it was like it
projected
just
was 1908.
scream, there's something wrong.
And this year, all warrant articles
there's not, so
projected
it's
is
fine.
So it's
1893.
gonna feel like
Yep.
a bigger increase?
Right,
because
that's what Maria was
of
pointing
that
out.
nice tax break with the extra revenue?
Yeah, and they have to give it back to us.
No.
They can take a certain amount out and put it in a fund. Did they do any of that this year? No, they're at 5% now. They can't put any more in that fund at the moment, the John Stark side. And that's probably why we got more back, because they have to give it all back, but they can take an amount out and put it into that special fund, as long as that doesn't hit 5% of the NAV.
So
They're at that now.
that 1890 tax rate for 2025 accounts for that large revenue?
Tax rate's going down.
Okay.
If you say no to everything, it's a lower rate than it would have been last year. That's why
And
14 versus 19.
How do you get to 14? You compared it with
Yep.
the 1893 you compared with the current rate?
Yeah, take the 1893, multiply it by 400.
Wait,
I-
Yeah,
75, 73, 93.
75, 72. Maybe I punched in some wrong numbers?
No, 1893 times 400. Make sure I get fixed for the
1893
B5.
times 4. 7572. This is a very old calculator, so.
Where was I just a second ago? I was in the mailer, sorry. No, I got 7573.93, almost 7574. Yep.
You may be going out to more decimals or something.
Yeah, there also could be,
In
There are-
any event, it's pretty close,
and I take that number and I compare it to what a $400,000 house would pay right now with the current rate of 1890, which is not including the county and state taxes.
1890 does not include those.
No, because it's 2164 all inclusive. You can't compare it to 2164.
Okay, so that was 400 times what?
$18.90, which is $21.64 minus the county and state taxes.
Yep,
$75.60?
no, I got $12, but that's because my number was wrong, but your
Yours
14
was,
is
yours
correct.
was up by 2, yeah. Yeah, I don't know how that came out. I don't know how that came out. 18.93 times 400. Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
E4, 1893.
Can you, click on it to have the squares highlighted?
Do what?
If you click on the number, the math equation,
It might be in a different tab.
and then click on the, which one's, it's the 1890,
Yeah, it's this times a value on another,
Yep.
another tab. So what do
okay.
what do I click on?
But if you just click in the row up above, if you click on that, it gives you the highlighted, oh, no, where it says equals E4, if you
Oh,
click
up here.
right, yeah, I'll just, but then it's on the
It's on a
fixed
different
values,
tab.
yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's the same.
Just saying 400. Can we just see B?
Oh, I'm
I-
dividing by 1,000, but I'm not, that's probably rounding.
Okay.
That might be the difference, that's the difference between the $2. So if you take B5 minus 1,000, which is,
Okay,
oh,
where does that mean?
that divided by 1,000 is just 400. There's some kind of a rounding issue going on. I don't know why. Because if I take this and I change it to still get the same number
What is E4 though? That number, is that,
right here.
It's the 1890.
right, but you have it as it's the sum of all of those? Do you have like
Decimal
fractional
point.
decimals?
Yeah.
so there may have been rounding somewhere up in the
Right,
process.
yeah.
Yeah,
Times the 400, yeah.
yeah, it's rounding. But it's, yeah, 1893, not rounded up. So what's displayed in, is fractional. So I have to probably put, I could probably put like a round to 2 places. Oops. Yeah,
There you go.
that's why.
Okay.
So I
the
can,
14
I can
is
fix that.
correct.
Huh?
The 14 is correct.
Um,
Or
depends on
12.
how you want to round it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's trivial.
If if you're not rounding to certain places while you're doing the math, it comes out a little higher.
So now it's 12.
I think we were all thinking that the spending is going up, and so it seemed across the board, and so it seemed like that number should be bigger, but the revenues came in better at John Stark to offset some of that increased spending.
Well, that's why it's 14 when and it was 19 last year. But we're calculating 12 versus 14. Which one is valid? It's
it doesn't
It's
matter.
marginal.
Okay,
And it's just estimated, it's not,
can we see that
Accurate.
chart again?
Yep, let me just fix this. Oops. And that's probably how Beth came out with a 78 number. Her rounding probably increased that value instead of rounding to 2 and using fixed numbers. Same problem I have. You want to go back to the chart? So are we comfortable with that
Yep.
approximately $14 difference and the reason why? Okay.
And that
Um,
$14 increase would be the same even if we included the state and county tax.
It should be. The only thing is that we don't know the state and county tax that it's gonna be.
Assuming they were the same.
no.
Yeah, that's why they're taken out, because they lag by 6 months.
Yeah.
You won't know until October, I think. And then it gets baked into the tax rate calculation in November. So, take them out to equalize.
The only thing, I'm raising this, I'm not suggesting it. Should there be a column that talks about the percentage increase, or is that too much information for people?
I'm fine without it.
It's better than the dollar number, if you were gonna add something.
We do have the overall of percentage increase for all approved or all rejected, right, in there?
No, we have,
Only for what we
just for
recommend.
finance, yeah,
Okay.
just our recommendation.
And
Okay.
make that 6.08, 6.1.
And this would be finance committee recommendation for 400,000, would be the 460.
Yep.
And then, there's underline, would be, that needs to be taken out? Or
That
there something?
is 1893.
Oh, okay. Per $1,000 value?
No, that,
No, it's the tax rate.
Okay.
That's the rate.
Per
Oh, it's per
100,000.
thousand.
Will you put a comma?
no, the absolute increase on a $400,000 house is $460.
Right,
Yeah, she's talking about the
Right,
rate,
right, right.
1893
yeah, that's the rate, would,
per thousand.
Yeah, you're right, put in per thousand. Per $1,000 of assessed valuation.
because then $18 doesn't sound so cheap when you think about,
Right.
Probably a comma after the 1 in 1,000.
and then 1,100 after, like approximately 1,100.
Yeah.
Also needs a comma, 1,100. One more down, or 3 more down. There you go, one more up,
Oh, there it is.
sorry.
I'm sideways. All right, you wanna read the whole thing again, each of you? You wanna go?
You probably ought to get rid of Bill Anderson.
Yep, well, I had mine and he had his, and
He'll come back at me for that one.
It's very short and to the point.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, no, I like it. It actually makes me wanna read it.
makes you not wanna read it.
Will you put a comma after unsustainable? In the third.
Yep, it's a good one. We need to say below again?
Yeah,
Can I just say it? Like that?
yeah,
Yeah.
good catch.
No, you have to set the table, because you have an intervening sentence. The table.
Yeah, I don't have to say below, though,
No.
I can just say,
Instead of est, how about putting estimated, and in the bolded title to the,
Yeah.
Throw a semicolon in there.
Yes.
Will you also format it to be centered on the,
This is all gonna get reformatted. Yeah, it's not gonna matter. Naomi has her little table in her document, she's just gonna
Copy and paste.
copy and paste, whoever does it. So. Yeah, it's cause I did this column stuff, but it doesn't matter.
okay.
Short and sweet.
Tom, if you have any dreams about these numbers and you go back and check them and you determine they're wrong, I think you should feel free to put in the correct numbers.
Well, I would send a note, I would send an email,
But,
and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why is 977 and 523 highlighted?
Cause I need to verify those with the SAU.
Okay.
They, last year's tax rate and back, they only give you the combined school rate of $15. I proportioned those out based on what I thought was correct, but, the two PowerPoints don't always jive up between the two school deliberatives. I have to call Chris every year and say, can you give me the breakdown between the two districts of what our tax rate is for, It's maddening because this is what you get from the state. You get this. You get town and all schools. And it's like, come on.
It does say estimated in the title, so.
Where? Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Estimated
yeah.
takes.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would include in this, the little pie chart that shows the breakdown of percentage of taxes.
By school and town?
Yeah. So once again, I think people don't, that's another one, I don't think people realize. I see a lot of people complain about town services, not
Not,
thinking that all of their money is going to the town, when in reality, most of their money is not going to the town.
If they know how much they're paying in taxes.
If they know how much they're paying in taxes, yeah.
well,
And it's only getting worse as time goes
I
on.
have that number. I mean, it's 76% right now, based on our recommendations. And it's less than 80 because we're not recommending a lot on the school side and recommending a lot on the town side. So if it goes our way, that ratio will drop a little bit. It won't end up going that way, but 100%, but post-election, this is default, but I calculate it post-election, what it ends up, based on the ballot, what it ends up being in this tab. But yeah, I mean, we could find a way to sneak that in if you wanted to.
That would be great.
the town prepared that chart, right?
Yep, put the pie
What
chart
chart?
in.
The pie chart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Showing the proportion of
They
it
showed it.
in town
You
and so.
should put the pie
They
chart
showed
right
it
below
right
our
at the
graph.
deliberative, yeah.
is it was in, is it in the,
It was in what Beth.
it was on the public hearing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it in deliberative, I missed that, did they? Yeah, it was in the,
They're going to
There's a slide.
include it in the brochure.
probably not.
We should. Right below
Why
our
don't
chart.
you,
Since we took all that wording out, we've got room for a pie chart.
Well, let me throw something up.
Pie chart actually makes sense.
So that would be what we're currently paying, like proportion-wise, or the increased proportion?
I would just say what we're currently paying
agree.
proportion-wise, just to let people see.
Fair. And we
Um,
have the,
But we don't, this isn't in color, and
Yeah.
there are different,
you can have different shades of gray.
Yeah, you can do it with screening them out.
like, is that unnecessary, or does that seem,
No, it's very necessary. Right, and the way the laws are changing in the state of the educational department with the increases in special funding for, special ed or whatever, it's blowing up, right? It's just, and most people don't realize how bad it is, I don't think, right? It really is out of control, I think, you know.
Every town is having the same problem we
Yeah.
have with the schools.
It's because of
They can't afford the schools.
Yeah,
And as a result,
You need to add at the end
people
something
vote
about
for
the
the
town.
schools,
and
and
the
you can't,
schools
the town services suffer.
What should I add?
Semicolon after bill, the town portion is 15 to 20%, or 20 to 25%, I guess, on your number.
It's not though, cause of the,
County and tax.
yeah, like, are we,
Oh.
like, the state education tax is part, like, it's going to the schools. So do you count that in the percentage that is paid towards the schools, whereas
the
the
pie
county
chart
is something
showed that.
separate?
That's where the 76, it's 76 and 24. If you take out the town, the county and state ed,
Okay,
that 76 reflects, without it.
without that.
This 45, 22, 21, and 12 is with it, you know, proportionally the 4. This is proportionally the 3.
So, in your numbers, why do you give a range?
Because this is what it would be if you follow our recommendation. I guess we could say that, right?
Yeah.
Would
That's
we
not,
just say what we're doing right now?
yeah, I feel like you just say, like, this is the current breakdown, you know, of your tax dollars.
Is,
I liked having just a picture,
like,
but I don't know
is
if we
this
have
it?
to.
Yes,
Yeah, it's basically that, but,
they're not gonna put that
that
in color.
includes county and town.
This is 2025.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
numbers,
just say currently
take
what
these
we're,
out, it's different.
So that's 76, 6, and 18. That comes out to 100.
Yep,
So why did you do
well,
that?
we're leaving out county and state in our chart, should we do it that way? If we're gonna give percentages. You know what I mean?
I don't know why we can't just include that picture.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, just put the pie chart in.
The picture says paragraphs of
Current
words.
tax distribution includes the following taxes.
Remember, this is last year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have
It's
this
not
year.
gonna
Yeah, we
get
don't
any
know what
smaller
that-
for
this
the
year will be.
schools.
I mean, there's so many different variables of like what gets approved and what doesn't.
I'd have to ask them to put it in, because it's not my chart. I could build one, but I'd have to build it.
Why do you ask Naomi if the selectmen plan to put this in
Otherwise, you want it in our
this,
blurb.
otherwise we would like this in ours? Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
And
good.
where
That's
would you,
perfect.
if the selectmen won't put it in, where do you want it in
Right
ours?
under our chart where we have all the numbers.
Yeah.
And you don't need any comment.
At the very end,
Yeah,
That's kind of what I'm thinking, is not have comment on that.
you don't need comment. As long as you explain what
The old
each one of
saying,
those
pictures-
divvies are, that'll be
Picture's
fine.
worth 1,000 words. Right?
Yep,
I can build one and just put it in here as a image, and she can just paste it in. I'm not
You just
gonna
label
ask,
it as,
I mean,
this is
if they're gonna
how
put it
your
in,
taxes are paid out, period. And
Yep.
there's your pie chart.
so,
overview of the 2025 tax distribution.
That's all we have to work with.
She
I
can
mean, people
probably
can figure
email
it
this
out.
to you, Tom.
It's not in
Oh, it's
color.
super easy to create
yeah, I
that.
can make it,
Yeah,
I can make that.
that's like 2 seconds.
So, the thing I wanna understand though is, with or without the county and state, because the numbers will change, they're gonna be,
I think
This, I think. you-
with
with
all,
Yeah, leave the county and state in there.
because that will settle how much it impacts.
okay,
I think it's just letting people know, these are where the chunks of your tax bill are
oh yeah,
going.
no, I agree, 100%. I just wanna make sure that I'm gonna present the data in the way that everybody thinks makes the most sense, you
That
know.
chart probably does more good
Then
than
all
all
the
the words
readings
we
we've
have in
done.
there.
Yes,
Well, I think people are gonna look at the table, and they're gonna look at the chart.
Yeah.
and hopefully
I
that
agree.
gets it.
You said you were gonna put a name on the chart, or a title on the chart
Yeah,
of
our charter percentage of town
You
versus
said
school and county and state.
distribution of tax.
In the 2025 tax impact shares or distribution?
Distribution.
What did they call theirs? I don't know what they called it. Did they have a name on theirs?
Yeah,
They have 2025 tax impact.
No, okay.
I'll just build a chart that just has these numbers on it, and just shows a
Are you
pie.
gonna do different shades of gray, or are you gonna do like a texture in the columns?
Good point, because this is not color.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you just do it in black and white, people can figure it out with the little percentages.
Well,
and the
sometimes
Fill
those,
in the
they
pies
look,
with squiggles or
We'll put shapes in there.
We-
Sometimes you have a circle
We did fine
that's-
growing up without color.
looks
I mean,
gray
it's
and
not
then-
hard.
Yeah, I mean, you could have different
so
like
hard, Lord.
patterns, right, like,
No,
yeah,
Yep.
that way it looks
Shading.
different, yeah,
Yeah, I'll add that.
okay.
And I'll send this out to everybody. This is not due until the 16th. So I got a couple days to play with it. So. It'll be done by Friday, because I'm leaving for a 4-day weekend on Friday, so
Nice.
I'm not messing around.
Must be President's Day weekend, Lincoln's birthday,
No, Valentine's.
Valentine's.
They do next Monday, and I'm not
it's
doing.
also President's Day weekend.
It's President's Day weekend as well.
Yeah.
Christmas present weekend, how's that?
So we got the 12th for Abe, 14th for Lovers, and the 22nd for George.
Yeah, everyone should be going on a vacation.
Are we done?
I think so.
Before we go, may I ask that we do something to recognize Bill Anderson?
I know, yeah, I wish he was gonna be here for that.
He'll have to watch the
Bill has
recording.
been involved in this committee for decades, literally.
yes.
And he was secretary, he was
Clerk
an
King.
active participant, the numbers guy, and his specialty was labor contracts. And the grids.
He did all of this by himself for like 5-6 years.
And we relied on him to write the blurbs.
Mhm.
We'd edit. We did much more editing with Tom than we ever did with Bill. That's not a reflection.
Oh, yeah.
Bill really has been an exceptional asset to this committee, and I would like us to recognize that.
Oh, absolutely.
make a motion.
I move that the committee recognize the stellar contributions of Bill Anderson to the Ware Finance Committee over the many years of his service. He gave us guidance, he did an extraordinary amount of work, and we deeply appreciate his service.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye. Okay, that motion passes. Thanks, Bill. Which is why we had to have other folks do write-ups and other things this year, because you can't rely on Bill next year.
Yes, but we have somebody in training.
We have a couple. This being the last meeting, I don't think anybody's terming out next year.
I am.
This is my third year.
Well,
I should, do I have it?
well, you can term out after 3, but you can do 2 3s consecutively, so you can term out at 6. Like it's,
If you want to be reappointed for a second
know.
3-year term, speak to the moderator.
Yeah,
Right.
I know. I'm just saying, in terms of, it's not automatic.
Right.
no, you have to let him know that you want to, if you're on your 3rd year, you let him know that you want to come back for a second, 3rd year block. And also think about what you can contribute next year. It'd be great if somebody else did the secretary job, we didn't have the same person doing it for, multiple years. Somebody should pick that up.
Well, there'll be at least one new member, and the
There'll be a new member.
maximum is 3, right? 3 new members.
We could have 3 more.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the maximum, how many new members you can have?
You can have
No.
Maximum of
13.
Total
Total.
members.
Total
Oh,
members
oh,
can't
that's-
exceed 13.
Down to 10.
We're at 10 now, so there could be as many as 3 new members.
Yep, moderator could appoint.
Are you on your second term? Because you'll be up this next year as well. I'm looking at.
For
what's on
3
the-
Then
for
this-
3
this is
years.
my
For 3 years.
first-
So this is your first term, and this was this your first
Yeah,
term?
me,
Okay.
Neil, and Lori, I think. I think we came in the same time. Well, I came in
No,
a
you
year,
were a year
I came in a
before.
year before you.
So how
I
many
don't
years do
remember
I
when I
have
was
left?
first appointed to
Well,
this
you'll-
term.
This was your final year. You'll have
Right,
to
that's
ask
what I
the
thought.
moderator to reappoint you for another term.
The years on the website are misleading. If it says appointed in 2021, you have to consider 22 as their first year. So 22, 23, 24.
Yeah.
So you get appointed in October, but
Everybody who was in 2023.
there's a lot of people, so that's 24, 25, 26.
Are all of them 3-year appointed, or is there
Yes.
one that was a 1-year?
No, everybody's
All
three.
three.
Yeah, like even if you fill a seat,
It's
that,
not like the Board of Selectmen where you fill in good.
it's not a partial, it's a full, you get a full 3 years. There'd be a lot of turnover in that way, and it would be fragmented. Any other business?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
Are you calling a meeting sometime before summer, so for dates?
Dan and I were going to talk to the town administrator about securing dates, like, next week, for next year. I don't think we need a meeting for that.
Well,
Sounds good.
No, that's, Chairman, that's your
Yeah,
prerogative.
and the moderator as well, and we're gonna shoot for Wednesdays,
good.
book every Wednesday in January.
Well, you'll
Almost.
remember Wednesday nights is when conservation meets.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can do, but, I mean, could be another night. We'll try to avoid Tuesdays if we can, but,
Okay. Okay.
anybody wanna make a motion?
We
Motion,
adjourn?
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Any opposed? All right,
Aye.
thank you for your time and persistence.
Thank you, Tom.
Oh,